Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast. This is episode 55. Trying to jump right into things, be a little after the top of the hour here, 7:06 p.m. Eastern Time.
4:06 Pacific.
Got my man Colin O'Crackers with me, and Cheesy, Rectangular. Rick will be in here shortly, probably taking a shit or something. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, let's jump right into things. We got a lot to talk about. I know we want to get into Spider-Man: Homecoming and some more Legend news. And this, we took a week off last week, so we're going to double up here. But this past week, I picked up the Mafex Deadshot came in, which I was pleasantly surprised with. I did a review on that figure. If you haven't checked it out, you should check it out. But the figure is very, very nice. I like it a lot. And I also got something else. What else did I? Oh, you know what? I got the Padme from the SH Figure Arts Star Wars line, but I haven't opened it because I was supposed to get Anakin almost 3 weeks ago now, and something went wrong with my shipment, and the package has been sitting in a sorting center since the 29th of May, and I've been back and forth with the company and with the post office and filed the claim, and I'm gonna try to hit them in the head double time. I'm gonna try to get Nippon to send me another one, and I'm gonna get the post office to pay me for that shit. Because I don't know at this point that I could even get that Anakin again without paying an arm and a leg, because it's the exclusive one with the double lightsabers and the angry face and whatever the case may be. So yeah, I got Padme, but I didn't open her. That shot was dope. And I think that was all that I got this past week. So, Colonel, excuse me.
Let's see. I think a couple of weeks ago, we weren't on last week, so I didn't get a chance to talk about this. But a couple of weeks ago, I called into a radio show, and they sent me a free Predator figure. So I got the 30th anniversary Jungle Hunter Unmasked Predator, which is basically the ultimate Predator, but with less accessories, a different unmasked head with an open mandible, skull, extra hand, and the removable backpack, and now 30 points of articulation. So that's cool. And then I stopped at Comic Bug a couple days ago, and they had the rest of the wave. So I picked up another one of the Dutch figures for customs, and then the 30th anniversary Jungle Hunter mask, which is again another Ultimate Predator, but with a different mask. It's the prototype mask, which is the one they used in like the pre-production of the movie before they changed it to the one we all know and love today. I bit the bullet, and I bought all 3 of the Vortex Toys figures. Cost me a pretty penny, as I'm sure you guys know.
Oh, you bought them shits with no ankle pivot? Fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly bought it for the clothes. Let's be honest. It's still, I mean, it says it's been shipped, but I haven't really received any updates other than that. It's sitting in a sorting center in Shanghai right now. The estimated delivery date is like the 14th to like August 1st or something. So I'm not in a state of panic quite yet, but I am a little like, well, why is it taking so long to ship? You know?
Wait, where did you order them from?
From eBay, just that one seller that had them.
Wait, don't they have them on Big Bad Toy Store?
Do they? I don't know. I got them on eBay, free shipping.
I'm pretty sure they do.
I got all 3 of them, and like from the same seller though, so I can just get one box delivered. I didn't know they were on BBTS. Maybe that's the way I should have gone. But yeah, if it's August 2nd and I don't have my shit yet, then yeah, I'll probably file a dispute or something. It doesn't seem like it's a sketchy seller, but you never know. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been a pretty light week for me. Light couple of weeks, I guess. Pancho, what you get?
I haven't been on in a super long time, so.
So we'll save you for last. No, just kidding. Go ahead.
Wait, no. Can you hear me or no?
Yeah. You're a little quiet, but yeah.
Oh, not bad. Let's see. I haven't been getting a lot at all, actually. But since I've been gone, I've gotten the Deku from My Hero Academia. I got those Rick and Morty figures because they came to my job and I got a discount for them.
Ew, stop giving McFarlane your money.
Sorry.
Those are Funko, actually.
Oh, they're Funko. Okay.
I was about to say, I didn't know McFarlane made those. I was about to say that
They do have the license for Rick and Morty, and they are making figures, but these are the Funko ones.
Okay. All right.
I mean, what's the point of getting a McFarlane figure at this particular point? But anyway.
And then there was like a price error at a department store in my area, and I got like both Spider-Man from Homecoming for like $7 each. So
Nice.
very, very excited. I got Vulture for $7 too. And then there was a signing at my local comic book shop. Babs Tarr was there, the Batgirl artist, and she was doing a signing for her other comic, Motor Crush, I think. And then I went to my local comic book shop for like the first time in forever. And then they had like a secondhand Ultimate Spider-Man Legend there that I've been meaning to get for like a year now. So I picked him up. That's it.
Not bad.
Right.
You got popcorn somebody now.
What?
It's on you, brother.
Who said I was left on Bad Bougie? Man, what have I gotten recently? Man, I'm sure most people saw that Walmart.com has like a super sale on some of the Space Venom wave, and so I bought just like a shitload of figures from that wave. I bought like 4 Miles Morales, like 3 Peter Parkers. I bought like 2 Electros, and I think I forget her real name, but it's Spider Bitch. What's her name?
Ashley Barr.
Ashley Barr, that's her name.
I actually bought a Miles and an Ultimate Spider-Man too for the alternate head sculpts. I'm curious to see if that Miles head will fit on the Mezco.
Yeah, for $7, I mean that's pretty ridiculous. I got the Mezco Captain America, the Commander Rogers, when it was 45 on Amazon. That was a fucking steal.
Yeah, I saw you post about that. That's definitely a steal.
Yeah, that was nuts, and I hope people capitalized on it. And like Pancho, I went to my GameStop to do a bunch of they had a buy 2 get 1 free for their used games. So I bought a bunch of games, and while I was there, I saw a shitload of Mr. Meeseeks, and I just bought like every Mr. Meeseeks they had for Funko.
Yeah,
you're that guy, dude.
I'm that guy that left with like 7 Mr. Meeseeks.
I see G and Diego both got a bunch of those too, man.
Yeah, but I think G has the most I've seen anybody have. It looks like he has like 20 to 25 of them. That was pretty fucking nuts.
How much are they going for, those figures in general?
I think they're like $9 or $10.
Okay.
I think at GameStop they're like $10.88, but like at something random like that, like $10.86 or something crazy. And at Target they're $9.99.
All
right. What else? I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that I've gotten? I'm literally just looking at the table right now to think. I don't think there's anything else that I've gotten. Oh, I got these little like they're like Mega Man, like Japanese blind box figures. They're kind of like the Dragon Ball Z ones that everybody likes to use. They're like smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a couple of those. I only saw 2 at my store, so I bought like a couple of those. And
have you guys seen those Gundam blind boxes that are at Toys R Us right now? Like
I've not seen any.
They look like they're 3 3/4 inch scale, maybe even smaller actually.
Okay, yeah, I know the line itself. I have some of them. I have the Rick Dom from that line, but I didn't know that they have those at Toys R Us. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I always considered getting some, but
I'm assuming that these Mega Man blind boxes they're gonna have to hit Toys R Us, I'm sure, because they're super inexpensive. They're even like I want to say like 3 inches tall, and I don't know. It just seems like such a perfect Toys R Us thing to have.
And does that conclude your haul?
Yeah, for figure wise, yeah, that's definitely that's pretty much it.
Since you brought up video games, I did just pick up this game that I highly recommended to Pancho as well. It's called Miscreated. It was $10 on the Steam summer sale last week. I bought it for like I actually bought the 4 packs. It was like $32 for 4 copies of the game, and I've been playing with some buddies for a good while now. It's pretty fun. It's one of those like early access survival scavenging games with like, it doesn't have zombies. It has like mutants or something, but just one of those games where you scavenge for supplies, build a base, defend your base from enemy players. It's pretty badass. I enjoy it. It's like DayZ, except it doesn't suck.
Sounds promising.
To talk about, so that's cool. That's all right. I like to alienate the
I like
audience.
it. No, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, we've been getting into some adventures. We've been holding up players. That's part of the fun. You just run into like random players, and they have less gear than you. You hold them up. You tell them to put their hands in the air, their gear on the ground, and then you steal from them and kill them. It's fun.
Nice.
Some real hood rat shit.
I went to go buy that game, but it went back up to $20. So I was like,
sorry, Pancho. You should have jumped on it when I told you.
Damn.
Players Unknown game.
Yeah, for $10, it's highly worth it. 20, yeah, I'd wait for the next sale for sure. And by then it'll be a lot more refined as well.
When it was on sale, but it went back up to $20 before I could get it, so that sucked.
And
all right, Todd.
What steered you wrong?
Last on the list. Come on, y'all sidetracking. We got a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah, let's get Todd. Todd, what'd you get?
Well, I'm shooting a haul video right now, so I'm not gonna talk about everything, but I got another set of those heat vision Superman effects from my buddy Michael Wisman. He was able to find it at Ross.
You know what? I want those too, man.
Yeah.
What's the Superman that they come with originally?
It's a piece of shit Superman called Heat Vision Superman.
Oh, I thought that was the name.
This is from the DC multiverse line.
No, it's part of the basic line, right? Like
yeah, they have like 5 points of articulation.
It's like the ones with the really oversized hands and feet.
Yeah,
You've seen them around. They're more like a blister card packaging.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of it.
They're at True and everything, though, right?
Yeah. I found my original one, I think at Target, or no, I think I got my original one on Amazon. Excuse me. But yeah, they've been showing up at Ross for $5. So Wisman grabbed me one, and I just wanted the effects. I told him just throw the figure in the trash, and he just sent it to me in an envelope. And then I got those the Can of Beams slash effects, and those are real nice. Really like the way those look. So
those are the ones that look like cutouts, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, and I did the review for the impact effects and the Cyclops ones, and I figured out how he does how he makes them. So
crack the fucking code.
Tell us how the sausage is made, Todd.
Well, if you need a laser cutter, but you can buy sheets of colored acrylic or clear acrylic on Amazon for pretty cheap, and then I'm assuming this is how he does it. He puts the sheet in the laser cutter, and then cuts out the shape. Obviously, he has to have a design already made, but a lot of the laser cutters that you can get from China already have some pretty good basic software. So you just have to basically import an image, and then it'll cut that out. And then once it's cut out, then he paints. Probably has an airbrush, and he paints part of it one color, like the blue or the orange, and then goes over it a second time over the entire thing with like the yellow or the white. So that's how he gets that fade effect. So when you flip it over, it's all one solid color, but on the other side, the reflective side, it's two colors.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know why he's not making more of that shit at one time, and why he's selling that shit on eBay. It's kind of stupid, but
yeah, I can only assume
that he makes them more valuable. It's the same way they make sneakers.
I can only assume also that he's busy and just makes a batch and then just wants to sell the batch and doesn't want to have to deal with getting overwhelmed with, like some customizers we know who take 1 million pre-orders and then they can't fulfill their requests. So,
No doubt. All right, so what we talking about first?
And we could talk Spider-Man: Homecoming first if you guys want.
who has not seen it?
Well, we've all seen it. Great.
We're all seen it.
Yep. Well, let's keep it spoiler free, of course, because it's only been
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's too early to not to have spoilers in it. So.
General thoughts though. Well, why don't you go first?
All right, so I thought it was great, man. I thought the movie was really well done. I thought it had sort of a little rocky start at the beginning. Some of the I don't know, something, it just wasn't as polished for me at the beginning. But it starts.
I did notice that too. The pacing did feel a little rushed at first.
Yeah, it was very rushed at first, but it definitely smoothed out. Even before the middle act or whatever, like it smoothed out rather quickly. But it was definitely a little rough at the beginning. I do like how they tied it into. Well, I guess I don't want to. Well, I don't know if that's really a spoiler, but I do like how they tied it into other events from the MCU, from Marvel Cinematic Universe, and how they brought it all together and showed how they didn't actually even go over his origin story that wasn't necessary, but still kind of went over his origin in the MCU, sort of, I guess you could say. I did like that. I thought the acting was pretty top notch, especially from Tom Holland. I think he did an excellent job. I've said this many times. I fucking hate that they keep getting British actors to play Americans, but he did a fucking great job. He was the epitome of Spider-Man. He embodied that character, and it was a good mix of 616 or regular Marvel Universe stuff mixed with Ultimate stuff, and I really enjoyed that. So, if you were a real comic head, then certain things stood out to you, and, it was a lot of Easter eggs and what have you. But the major thing I think that we will probably all agree is that the villain was very well done, or the villains in general, but the main villain, Vulture, was very well done. Michael Keaton did his fucking thing, man. He did an amazing job. And yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I want to see it again. It was definitely some things that I missed. I had a kind of fucked up movie going experience, but I had tickets for a 10 p.m. show at our local theater, and we always bring food to the theater when we come. But for whatever reason, this time the guy downstairs was being a dick. He wouldn't let us up with our food, and then the manager came and was really trying not to let us up. Because at one point I was just like, yo, why you making a movie, dude? Like, it's really not that serious. It's 10 o'clock at night on a weeknight. There's not even mad people here. Like, why you even give a fuck? And I just told my girl, I'm like, let's go. We went up, and we got intercepted by the fucking manager. And he's like, well, you guys could just eat your food outside, and then I'll give you tickets to the next show. And like, we went back and forth for a minute. It was a pain in the ass. So we ended up not going in at that time. We went, we ate, we came back, and in that hour, I got so fucking annoyed, and that hour just took something out of me. So I actually dozed off a couple of times throughout the movie, and not because the movie was whack in any way, shape, or form, but it was a work day. I had work that day. Then that whole back and forth with the movie people just took a lot out of me, and I fucking dozed off a couple of times throughout the movie. So I definitely want to check it out again to see those little tidbits that I missed, but it wasn't that much. But yeah, the movie was very, very good, man.
I pretty much going to echo the same thing. I thought it was really good. Kind of a rocky start at first. I think that was just more. It took a sec to get you into the pacing of the movie, because even though it does slow down a little bit, it is kind of a fast-paced movie. A lot of stuff that they had to get into it. But yeah, it did tie into the other movies really well. At first viewing, the timeline seemed a little messed up because of some dates that they threw out, but doing some research, I think it all worked out nicely. The beginning sequence I thought was really cool. Yeah, the villain was great. I like that, he was kind of a B-list villain. Vulture traditionally is kind of a B-list villain, but they kind of made him a little more important and had a couple of like even C-list villains below him that weren't really the main antagonist in any way, but they definitely added to the cast of the movie. So it's not just like the one villain, but without it all seeming too bloated. Yeah, Tom Holland is a fucking fantastic Spider-Man. Yeah, I mean, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything that I just flat out disliked about it. I thought it was just a really fun movie, just like that really nice like coming of age story, but with a superhero twist to it. Some returning cameos from other movies that were a nice surprise as well. Yeah, man, I thought it was great. I can't say anything bad about it off the top of my head. Maybe if you guys talk, I'll think of something. But I definitely recommend everybody goes to see it so we can get into the spoilers next week.
Yeah, definitely. I don't. My one thing that I forgot to mention, the thing that I didn't like was one casting choice in particular. I didn't like how the kid that they casted for Flash. It wasn't really anything about his acting that was bad. Like, he had a couple of funny lines, I guess, or whatever. But just his look, like, I don't know. I kind of get it though, because like they changed it up a bit where. The school that he goes to was a school for all for kids that were excelling academically or for like science nerds or whatever the case may be. So I guess considering that, you really wouldn't have the typical like jock style bully in that type of school, right? Everybody's a fucking nerd, right? So
right. He's pretty much just like a kid who's a dick to you for no reason. That's a more realistic take on a bully, I guess.
Right, but I don't know. Something about his look just bugged me. I don't know. But that and I think, I don't know. I guess that was pretty much it, man. I loved the chick that they casted for Liz Allen. She's gorgeous.
Yeah. I like Zendaya's character too. Just her character in general. I thought she was interesting.
Definitely, she had a bunch of funny lines. I mean, it was pretty much. My daughter watches her show that comes on Disney XD or Disney or whatever it is, and that's pretty much, she's real kind of quirky, kind of one-liners and shit like that. So it was kind of typical of her character from this other show in a way, but like a little more nerdy, I guess. But yeah, I really enjoyed her character, and I called it. I said this some months back when we were talking about it, and I said that she'll probably end up being Peter's love interest somewhere in one of the other movies. They'll flesh her out and she'll like, bud over the summer or something like that, and then turn into this, the beautiful girl in school or whatever the case may be. So it seems like that's the direction that they were going in with her character. And despite them trying to make her look all disheveled and crazy, she still is a good looking girl too. So that's it.
I was into in high school.
Boom. So we all know Fabio's taste now.
Right. Back then, yeah.
Fabio's down with the swirl. We understand now. Pete, what do you think?
I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was great. Pretty much the exact same thoughts as everybody else. It had a lot of really good cinematography.
Yes.
Like, there is... Oh, man. There's this scene where this green light is casted on Vulture. Is like the best, one of the best shots in the entire movie. It's like such a simple shot, like it's a very like low, mellow scene, but like this green light gets casted on his face when he says like some evil shit, and I'm like, whoa, this is incredible. That to me transformed it into a film versus just like a really sick comic book movie, I guess. But I don't know, I'm weird. But I thought it was really cool. All the characters are really cool. I feel the same way about Boog in terms of like Flash. It's hard to go from knowing a certain archetype of the character Flash for so many years and then just being jettisoned into like a completely new type of character he is. But yeah, they go to a mad smart school. Like, who there would fit the normal mold of Flash? Like, that kind of kid doesn't go to that school at all.
Right,
so
right.
It just makes sense in terms of not being like a physical bully like the old Flash was, to just being like the worst type of mental bully to Peter Parker ever. Like,
You know what it was too that kind of bothered me though is that like Peter never really seemed that bothered by shit though. Like you understand, it wasn't even like it was really like making his high school experience any worse and shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, in a way, yes, but he kind of like it wasn't. It didn't seem like it was really impacting him. Like it was more obviously more pressing shit going on besides this guy, like saying little funny shit to him. So
what I'm more curious about is if they'll ever dive into his pre-Spider-Man school days, and maybe that really got to him before he got his powers. But then, like after he got his powers, he's like, "There's much bigger fish to fry." Than
yeah, I could fuck this guy up any day. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, he's just like your typical like 2017 high school bully, as I would imagine it, who just fucking fucks with you for no reason, comes up with literally terrible nicknames that aren't even like, funny or clever, but that's just what it is. I honestly don't. I doubt they'll ever do Agent Venom or whatever, but I just don't see that kid being an Agent Venom type, unless he like fucking blossoms like Neville Longbottom style.
Yeah, that's not.
I agree that I really wasn't all that happy with that casting choice until I just watched the review that Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin do, Fat Man on Batman. And
I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to get you guys' takes on different reviewers that you might watch. But yeah, go ahead, Tim.
And they mentioned it makes a lot more sense for Flash to be a rich kid, an annoying rich kid instead of a tough bully, because if he was a tough bully and Spider-Man already has his powers, he could snap his neck in 2 seconds. It's like. Right. He wouldn't be intimidated by, a bully if he's already Spider-Man. It's like, you can't hurt me.
Yeah, but him being rich still mentally makes him on a pedestal that he can't reach because he's not rich himself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that kind of annoyed me about the film is that they didn't. It seemed like in the comics, I could just be. I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, but it seemed like in the animated series that he was always struggling. He's always trying to help Aunt May pay the bills, and they're always threatening to get their power shut off or whatever. There was always a financial struggle, and I wish they had touched on that in the film.
I feel like they will later. I think just because Spider-Man is so young right now that it's like they're not going to make fucking 50-year-old Spider-Man get a job to help pay for Aunt May's rent. That's not really a conflict that would go with the character.
It would have been good as like a kind of small note, like if when he was like running out of the house to do something, she looks stressed and he looks at her like, "Fuck, I'll deal with that later," and then runs back out.
What really would have put that all, if there's a scene where he buys a sandwich and the guy tries to charge him more for the sandwich, if you made a big deal about it being super expensive, that would have really just put that all into perspective. But it was a lighthearted scene.
You know what? I like that. I like that scene a lot because it was indicative of like a New York City deli, like some real like homegrown shit that the people at your corner deli, and like that's some real New York shit. Like, I still get credit at my corner deli and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I go out with no money, I know I can get a fucking sandwich and a beer on credit and come back later. Like that, just that type of, it's just a real New York vibe with that scene. But, one other thing I wanted to mention was I had saw some people talking about I guess the landscape of the school as far as the ethnicities are concerned. And some people had something ill to say about that, and yo, that's New York City. That's like real New York City shit. Like if you go to a good school in New York City, it's gonna be pretty fucking diverse. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you go to, there's levels to it. Like, there's the specialized high schools in New York City, which is Bronx Science, Brooklyn Tech, and Stuyvesant. Right? Those schools are. I would say those schools might not be as mixed, but then there are other schools that are still really good schools that you have to take tests to get into that are really, really diverse. I went to a high school like that where it was every ethnicity, every kids from every part of the city. that's pretty much exactly how my high school looked. It was a lot of smart kids, like, you know what I'm saying? So,
I think Peter was pretty much one of the only white kids, to be honest.
well, I guess as the main cast, yeah, you know, but you
Yeah,
know, I enjoyed that about it though. Like, you know, that was really cool. So anybody having some shit to say about that, that's New York City, man. Like
I can't remember the cartoon series that it happened in, but there was actually a cartoon series that depicted Flash Thompson as a fairly intelligent person. And he was even going to the same college and taking the same classes as Peter and Liz Allen.
It was the MTV one, right? Maybe.
MTV, yeah, I believe, yeah, it was the MTV one. And where he's really not that big of a dick to Peter or anything like that.
Oh, whoa, pause.
Yeah, I remember him being like a jealous dick for, you know, what he assumed
Right.
Liz Allen ended up feeling for Peter. But I don't particularly remember him being like a total dickhead that just ruins Peter's life in that show. He was kind of smarter.
He did it well in this movie, though. He's more of like an intellectual rival than a flat out bully. I mean, yeah, he does bully him at some point and, you know, calls him nicknames and shit. But the overall dynamic is that they're intellectual rivals, you know, as far as the decathlon thing and all that stuff.
Whose reviews did you guys watch? Anybody in particular that stood out to you?
Chris Stuckman is my favorite movie reviewer. He just hit 1 million subscribers, so he's on some good shit. He goes back and reviews a lot of the older movies as well in preparation for new movies coming out. And he's a little more in depth than someone like Jeremy Johns, who, you know, I like my reviews to be about like 8 to 10 minutes, you know, so they can really dig into the actual like cinematography and the directing and all those elements. The guy's like a film student, so I like that he digs into all that stuff. Whereas Jeremy Johns, I think, gives a lot more. Even though he's good, I do like him. He does give shorter, slightly more general reviews.
You know, I've got to write down that guy's name because back in the day, there used to be a movie reviewer / movie news YouTube channel called Movie Buzz, where the guy was a student of film and he would review things like nobody else would review them, and he would kind of be a dick even about things that were like particularly good in people's eyes. And that guy kind of faded out because he actually got a job in film and whatnot. And ever since then, I've actually never found another movie reviewer because I liked that he was more honest and he had that film background, so it felt more real to me when I was watching his review than when I watch somebody who just loves geek films and talks about it because they're always going to end up liking it.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to write that guy's name down.
Yeah, Chris Stuckman, just like it sounds, 2 N's.
Yeah, because when they come from a film background, it's usually when I enjoy it more, because I want somebody to be honest with me, not just be a nerd that's going to be nice about things. I mean, I can't tell you how many people I run into tell me that they liked, Dawn of Justice, and I have no idea how that's possible.
What how you guys think that this stacks up to your favorite Spider-Man movie from the past? Like I guess most of us probably like Spider-Man 2 from the Raimi movies, right?
That's at the top of the mountain. I mean, I think it's getting close. But you know, when you talk about something like Spider-Man 2 and what Raimi was able to do with that character of Doc Ock and you know, Tobey Maguire, it's fucking, you know, another level. But I've got to say, to be perfectly honest, you know, bias aside for how much I love Spider-Man 2, it's close. It's close.
Yeah,
I gotta agree with you. I think, you know, the Raimi film, Spider-Man 1 and 2 in particular, definitely 2. It's always going to be kind of at the top for me because it's the Spider-Man that I grew up with. But it's hard for me not to recognize that Tom Holland is by far a much better Spider-Man. Plays him a lot more relatably, I think.
Yeah.
But as far as like the villain, I think Doc Ock and Vulture are like so close. But I think I would give it to Doc Ock just because of how well he's established at the beginning of the movie with, you know, the tech demo and of the whatever the sun machine, whatever the fuck it's called. I liked Doc Ock because I like Alfred Molina too, and I like the way he played him. He was that very like tragic villain, and I'm just a sucker for tragic villains. Whereas I wouldn't call Vulture a tragic villain. I would say he's more he's relatable too, just because he's kind of like a working class dude who's been upstaged by this world of gods and monsters now, and the big guy is coming to step on him. So there's that aspect of him. And then I think the one scene that really made Vulture stand out to me was, and I won't spoil anything, I'll just say the car scene. That car scene was like, damn, all right, this guy's a great villain. But I would still say I would give the edge to Doc Ock just because of that place I hold him in my heart.
Yeah, that's one of the best scenes in the movie. I talked about that with quite a few people offline or whatever too. But yeah, absolutely. But somebody's got something open because some shit's echoing. Check y'all.
All right, I'll mute myself.
But I forgot what I was gonna say. Vulture's story is, like you said, is so relatable. Like, you know, how he turned to a life of crime, I guess you could say. It was very organic. It wasn't really cheesy or really even comic book-esque, really. It was some real, like, shit. Like, you know what? Fuck that. I got to do what I got to do. You know? So I enjoyed that part of it. I enjoyed how they sprinkled in the other villains. I'm happy for Bokeem Woodbine, who's been acting for a very long time, and he's had a bunch of questionable fucking jobs in the past and shit. But I'm happy to see him doing his thing in this universe, and I'm sure that those other C-lister villains will show up again. I could see. I guess we could all kind of see what they're attempting to do or where they may go with this after this movie. But yeah, man, it was very good to me.
Yeah, you know, one thing about the Vulture, it's like a very strange relating that I have in my mind. But when I was watching it, it was sort of like I was seeing a reverse version of hints of a reverse version of Cyborg from New 52, because I just remember so vividly, not just because of the animated film, but just reading the books, how much Cyborg, you know, because of who his father is, felt lost in a world where Vulture, like somebody said about Vulture earlier, in a world of gods and monsters and heroes, felt like nothing he did was important until he got those enhancements, you know. And it kind of felt, for whatever reason in my mind, it worked out very similarly, but very differently at the same time. The feeling of seeing the environment around you and feeling like nothing can lift you but those things, those enhancements to yourself.
You got the penis pump, huh?
Boom. You know what I mean? The pills, the penis pump, the whole 9 yards. Then he calls himself Scorpion.
But, all right, so yeah, Spider-Man was good. Go out and see it. We could talk spoilers next week. We could really delve a little deeper into.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, but if anybody complains next week, you know, you can just turn it off, because I think 2 weeks is more than enough time.
No question.
I will say, somebody just mentioned it in the chat, and it did remind me. There might have been a little bit too much reliance on the tech aspect of it, as far as kind of making, you know, him very Iron Man-like. But I think that was just something almost like a plot device, just to service in a different way, to do the whole great power, great responsibility, but in a different way.
I feel like some of that shit was like Marvel, like making Sony their bitch in a way. You know, like it was just like, like, you know, I don't know. It was some real like undertones of like shit in that. I don't know, but
one thing before we exit out of this topic that that I really think everybody needs to hear, that is on the fence about this film, is just yesterday I had like 3 different people I had to tell this to and completely change their mind about wanting to go watch the film. Tony Stark doesn't take over this film. No. It's not a Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker. He is not in it like that. Don't let him in the trailers stop you from watching this film, because he's not in it like that. Spoiler alert, he is not that guy in this.
No. You know what? He's got quite a few scenes, but they make sense. They don't seem forced in any way. It's you know, he's Parker's guy. He's his role model. He's his, you know, it makes sense for him to be injected into the movie in the way that he was. But it wasn't overbearing, though. No, not at all.
Nope.
So yeah, what else? What else we talking about?
2 words. SHF Batman.
Boom.
Is
Word.
that 2 words? I don't know.
He looks really impressive.
Yeah, there was a toy show that went down this past week, so we have some in-person images of the figure. I'm going to screen share them right now, so you can see. And
Boom.
this thing looks spectacular, I gotta say.
Yeah, it looks really impressive. Unless the cape is like some huge fuck up when you get it in, I don't know how this wouldn't be the Japanese version of that Batman to get.
Yeah, it looks very good. Even
Look at this.
the face looks very very much like this guy Ben Affleck.
Right, he's got the butt chin for sure.
Definitely.
I
Yeah,
think
the asshole from Fashionable Mail.
Butt chin on
I
that.
pulled up this Imager thread from Reddit, and I see people in the comments section of Reddit already being like, "Well, he doesn't have a bicep swivel. That's bullshit." But it's like, well, first of all, you can't pose for shit, and second of all, that's what this butterfly joint is for right here.
Definitely.
People who complain about articulation the most are the people who don't know how to like work around articulation. You work with the articulation that's there. It's not like every figure needs to have the exact same articulation scheme. If they put a bicep swivel on this, it would completely ruin this musculature, which is, let's be honest, fantastic.
And you know, anybody that buys the SHF Star Wars ones knows that like none of those have a bicep swivel like a traditional one. They kind of have that cup joint, and I never mess with my Star Wars SHF and think to myself like, fuck, man, where's this bicep swivel that's just supposed to cut the sculpt? Where is it? I never have a problem with it, and I'm sure this is going to be like the technology of that shoulder is going to be along the same lines, and it's just not going to be a problem.
It's just like the Black Panther.
Yeah, exactly.
Black Panther doesn't have that bicep swivel, but it's got all the range you need to put his arm across his chest.
Yeah, that there will be no problems with the fact that swivel isn't there.
What? Let me see the wide shot again.
This one here. Yeah, it looks good. He's got those thunder thighs. Look at that.
Boom. He's watching those morning old lady workout shows on PBS, no question.
I mean, the suit design of this is fucking great. I love this suit. I mean, it's hard to improve on that BVS suit, but you know, these little pieces of armor, they add to it without really detracting too much. So I'm okay with them.
Well,
I wonder how deep they're gonna go into this. If they're gonna give us the actual other. At the very least, I hope we could get the big 3 of DC from Figure Wars.
You were going to say something, Todd?
What's really going to be a deciding factor for a lot of people is the scale, because there's like, I know Al Chang is trying to figure out like which dead shot to get, because that Mafex one is 7-inch scale. I don't know why they made it so damn big.
I don't know.
And the SHF one is tiny. So it's like if you want to integrate it with other figures, you know, it's going to be.
I mean, I don't doubt that
struggle.
A tall dude, but I don't think he's taller than Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck's fucking big.
Yeah, I was just asking how tall. I think Will Smith's 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Because I guess if you buy that Batman and then you buy the Figure Arts Deadshot, you know, this Batman might be dwarfing him.
Ben Affleck is 6'4" in real life.
Well, I mean, I don't like that Mafex made Deadshot so big, but I mean, if you got Mafex, then just play the shit with your Mafex figures, like, you know what I'm saying?
Will Smith is 6'2", so yeah, Batman should be taller, if only slightly.
Okay, damn. I highly doubt that this is going to work with Mafex. Then, if Ben Affleck is actually taller than Will Smith, then no way.
Mafex figure is damn near like a NECA figure, damn near.
Yeah, dude, he was as tall as a NECA Terminator.
Now, how big is isn't the SHF Deadshot kind of tiny?
Well, yeah, all the SHF figures are way smaller than the Mafex figure. Yeah, but I mean, they are within the same scale because they're in the same line. So I mean, it is. You're not. I don't need to mix my Mafex with my SHF. I don't need that to happen. I mean, they're putting out the same characters in both damn lines for the most part. I think SHF might probably end up going a little deeper into these movies and giving you more characters than Mafex probably will. Mafex usually they seem to only focus on 1, 2, maybe 3 main characters or something, unless it's Star Wars. So.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of Mafex is that besides the Star Wars line, nothing else really actually goes that deep when it comes to them making figures for it.
I mean, the Marvel line's going pretty deep so far. I mean, it's kind of on a per movie basis, but we got a good amount of the cast of Civil War.
Well, that's SHF, you mean?
No, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. I thought that's what
Yeah.
Fortunately, that SHF Black Panther is big. I mean, you can use it with your legends.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're doing. They all over the place with that. But you know what? While we talking about SHF, can we see some pics of they show pics of what's that thing? With the robots, that movie.
Oh,
Pacific Rim 2?
Yeah. You got some pics of that?
By the way, while we're on the subject of Batman and SH figure arts, anybody get the Dark Knight Rises version? I think that just came out.
What was it, like the Nightmare Batman?
No. It's the one from the Nolan films.
Yeah, it's the old one, but it's.
I know. Pharaoh and Darius both have it. I didn't pick it up.
Because that one's that's the first SHF Batman that has a cloth cape. So if that cape is any good, then that's indicative of how this one's going to be.
Right.
If it's trash, let's hope it's improved upon with this one.
I don't remember if I watched anybody's. I don't think I watched anybody's review for that figure, but I passed on that one because I just it's been so long. I just don't care about the movie right now.
You know what? While he's pulling up the pictures of Pacific Rim 2, I'm literally just gonna message Pharaoh right now and ask him.
And while we're on the subject of capes and figure arts, I watched Robo's review from the Foosh of that Doctor Strange. Like, oh my god. They need to cut that plastic cape shit out. It's like
from the figure arts Doctor Strange. Yeah, I saw.
I thought I heard him say he liked the cape though.
I saw Darius' review. It didn't bother me too much, but yeah.
Fuck that shit. I mean, besides the fact that he's tiny, I mean, you're gonna.
Again, you're saying he's tiny, but he's within the scale of the other figure arts figures for the most part. So he's shorter than.
Well,
and he's shorter than. I saw Darius lay out a couple of them. So, but it's the scale between the figure arts figures seemed fine to me.
So this is the SHF Dark Knight Batman.
Yeah, it looked good. I just
that one picture with the silhouette looks fucking nice.
I'm just so moved on from that movie series.
Yeah. This was never even my favorite bat suit.
I always hated this guy's. What's the fella that played this Batman?
Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale. I just hate his overbiting, lower jaw, area. I hate that.
I mean, it's like the joke that everybody makes when they impersonate Christian Bale. You know, they puff out their lips and they do one of these.
Right. I fucking hate it.
Where are the other drugs going?
Where are they going to?
Where's Rachel?
Yeah. He just had a strange direction for how they asked him to do that voice.
Didn't he have like some issues with his vocal cords and shit doing that shit?
Yeah, dude fucking ripped his vocal cords twice on every film.
Oh man, that's got to be fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No spoiler, but they do make fun of that in Spider-Man: Homecoming. I thought that was funny.
No.
Fabio, you are the spoiler.
I got a spoiler on my car, so I don't go flying off the freeway when I'm going 90 miles an hour.
Boom! He got wings.
That's very funny.
I actually don't have spoilers on my car. What else were we talking about? Oh, I wanted to bring this up because I was on the Foosh page just now, but we did just get the first solicitation images for the NECA Blade Runner 2049.
Fuck that NECA shit. We moving on to what's the name, and then you can move into NECA because we're gonna talk about how what's the name is about to shit on NECA anyway. So
Pacific Rim 2.
Yeah, pull up the Pacific Rim.
Only because I got the Foosh page right here while I was looking for this stuff. While I look for everything else, we can comment on how big Ryan Gosling's forehead looks.
Oh yeah, that is ridiculous.
Now, say what you want about the movie. I mean, these figures look decent enough to at least have them for like civilian, do some head swaps, whatever you want. But I do like that they're incorporating the double jointed elbows on these guys, so that's cool. I mean, that's a stellar Harrison Ford right there for sure. You can use that for whatever the hell you want. You can make. I want to make the Fugitive.
I'm thinking
I didn't kill my wife.
I'm just thinking about civilian shit, but yeah, it's
you can get a decent head sculpt for a Han Solo right here, and then Gosling, yeah, not a dead ringer. That coat's cool though.
He looks like the pirate from that Once Upon a Time show.
Yeah, the whole outfit is pretty cool.
Yeah,
again, as a civvy, it would be cool.
Yeah, he's got like a thermal sweater with a sweet leather jacket. It's a duster, actually, I think. Hang on, I'm looking for Civic Rim right now. But yeah, I don't know. People are complaining about this Ryan Gosling. I mean, I think it looks like him. It looks enough like him, I guess. But we literally only have these images right here, just like these.
I'm telling you, you want to laugh? You Google search the image of Once Upon a Time Hook. He looks just like him.
All right, I will.
It's hilarious.
What's that from? Once Upon a Time Hook. What's that?
A TV show.
It's an ABC show that basically like depicts like a real Earth mixing of the fairy tale stories.
I see.
And that guy, he's always on the poster at Comic-Con, like right up front, because he's like the good-looking guy of the show, and he looks just like him in that figure form.
Can't really zoom in anymore.
Boom.
There's the
Fuck,
new.
that's impressive.
Clearly, the art style is going pretty different from what the first one was. Looks like they're going more sleek anime rather than.
Oh wait, this is for the
American
movie that's coming out. They're not even going back and doing all the figures, huh?
I believe they might be going back and doing some of the original Jaegers, but
yeah,
for
they
the most part,
they
it's
do
all
have
based on
plans
the
for
new
it, but they wanted to do these first.
Interesting.
Because I did see a prototype image of a Gypsy Danger, but this is the new Gypsy Avenger.
Does that mean that? Well, that doesn't mean that NECA doesn't lost the license or anything, right? They
don't have the license anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it ended.
Why?
They didn't renew. I don't know.
Who didn't renew?
NECA didn't renew.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same case with the Planet of the Apes. There's just something they didn't feel was strong enough to go again.
Yeah.
Really? After all of the fucking money they spent on those figures, NECA that is, as many of those fucking figures they put out? That's crazy.
Yeah. They put out a pretty full run. I mean, if you want some kaiju for these guys, at least, probably still going to be your way to go. I don't know if they're really doing any other kaiju for SHF.
Nah, why would you?
I mean, they said
small as fuck in comparison to those NECA figures.
They said they're going to be doing the kaiju, but monster arts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow, they're about to totally shit on NECA.
I mean, like I said, it looks like the art style overall is changing for the new movie, so I think it does suit it a little bit more. Because the first one I would call like a little more like gritty, futuristic fantasy. You know, like everything is futuristic, but still, you know, kind of shitty. You know what I mean? Like everything.
Yeah, this looks very Gundam-ish.
This looks a little more anime, a little more
right.
Eastern.
Yeah, it looks like Gundam.
Exactly.
Well,
whereas Pacific Rim 1 was more like Big O.
What's gonna really make or break this shit though is the kaiju though. You know what I'm saying? And that's really Figure Arts is shit. So I mean, as long as they kill it with the kaiju, then you know this looks great. But like if you don't have the monsters, you know, from the fight, then it doesn't really matter. But
right. And the scale on these will be interesting too. I mean, it's always good to have SHF doing it because there's so much other monster arts, you know, buildings and explosion effects and all that stuff.
So hold on.
Fine with all this for Godzilla.
Moments in history. Is this what sparked that whole fight between Randy and homeboy?
You bet your ass it was what sparked Adam and fucking Randy. From the beef, here come the fruit. You know.
So if anybody's listening that doesn't know about this, well, I'll let Rick tell the story because he tells it.
Yeah, you were there, right, Rick?
Adam is like the nicest, quietest guy ever.
Who's Adam? You got to give
Adam is one of the guys over Tamashi Nations. And he had an interview with Emiya and I where he was discussing the first time he revealed that they actually got this license and that they were in the works to get the license, and that if they got it, he jokingly said, "We're going to show NECA how it's done." Man, this guy is like the nicest dude ever, and Randy was just not having it. He was not taking it as a joke, and he took that as offense to his line, which I mean, I understand why, but the reaction I don't agree with, you know. And it was he was just going crazy on Twitter. Him and some people that are even more in love with NECA than Fabio, if you can imagine, were just bashing the shit out of Bandai and anybody who liked Japanese figures on Twitter. It was honestly, looking back, it was really funny. At the time, it was like, man, this dude is nuts. And it was crazy that from a little joke that this like little introverted guy said, Randy was not fucking having it. He was telling him to fuck off any moment that he could. It was crazy. And hey, he wasn't lying. They're here to show out with these ones. And whenever they reveal their Monster Arts kaiju, they're going to be impressive. I wouldn't be surprised if at Comic-Con there's going to be a huge display with the kaiju, with some of the samples that they have of kaiju and some of the samples that they have of the bots and whatnot.
Randy seems like he's got very thin skin.
He's not a fan of criticism. He's one of those guys that believes, if you don't like it, then don't say anything and leave me the fuck alone kind of guy.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, I'm putting. I don't know the guy personally, but putting it nicely. That's how that guy is. It was incredibly hilarious. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to go back and find it on Twitter. It was hilarious.
I'm pretty sure you guys got the video of that, right?
We have the video of Adam saying it. Yes, we absolutely have that video.
And somebody had linked that video to the NECA Twitter page, and that's where all that came from.
Oh man, yeah, that was hilarious. I remember when we'd done the interview, Emiya had told me, like, man, I wonder if Randy's ever going to see it. I was like, man, this dude doesn't give a shit about Japanese figures. And like Fabio said, somebody linked it to him and was like, these guys at Bandai are talking shit. And he totally lost it. He was fucking pissed.
He was more saying like, yeah, it'll be better, but at like 3 times the cost and with more fragility or something along those lines. I don't know.
Fuck this guy, man. To this very day, when they see each other at cons, Randy and Adam, it's beef. It is beef, my friend.
Well, I mean, it should be if you fucking spit on another motherfucker, you nasty.
Oh man, it is some beef between those two, and man, that poor Adam, man.
That's the worst thing you could fucking do to somebody. It's like so disrespectful, man.
He absolutely 1000% regrets ever making that joke, and I don't have any doubt in my mind that dude will never joke about another brand again because of what happened. Like, he is never talking any salt on anyone's name anymore because that guy's like the sweetest person ever.
At that stage in the game, it shouldn't even be like that. You both working for, great brands, and you pretty much have your dream job and shit. Like, how could you treat your coworker like that? Like, for what? Like,
I'll never
coworkers.
forget that there was somebody that wasn't even related to like Emiya or I or anyone in the A.C.B.A. camp that went on like the NECA collector's page or something like that and said that he'd heard that Randy had a problem at New York Comic Con. And I was like, oh man. I was like, I wonder if it has to do with Adam. And then sure enough, Emiya called me later that night and he was like, man, you're not going to believe this story. And he told me what happened. I was like, Jesus Christ. I can't believe it actually ended up being the fucking Adam that ended up getting another assault via Randy.
That's terrible, man.
It's crazy, man. But, I very passionate dude. Very passionate.
But
Boog, was this the hey Boog?
Yo,
was this the Randy story that you wanted to talk about on the show, or is there another one?
Oh no. I'll save that for a later show. But yeah, I'm not gonna delve into that right now because I wanna be accurate.
We'll save all of that until a day where like Trump does something so bad that we're just like, man, fuck everything else. Let's tell the story.
Yeah, but I just wanted to be clear if the Pacific Rim stuff was the root cause of that falling out, and that's pretty interesting because they're gonna. There's no question that the line is gonna do very well with.
There's actually going to be two scales for this Pacific Rim line. There's going to be like the smaller scale that's called a Robot Damashi, and then there's going to be a Soul of Chogokin, which is much bigger, and it's going to have a lot of die cast in it. So you're going to have options too with this line. So it's going to be pretty cool.
That's going to be expensive as fuck, though.
Oh, I'm not buying it, and I buy a lot of stupid shit. Too expensive, man. I can't do that stuff. That's all Emiya. That's not me.
Yeah, I'm about to say Emiya. I have 10 of each.
He'll have 10 of each, and he'll never open them.
Right. But all right. So what else we want to talk about?
Yep, we're.
But I know Pancho has to leave soon, so I wanted to bring up something before Pancho leaves because I think he's the only other person on this panel. Besides, I don't remember if Fabio was that's into this show. It's called My Hero Academia.
Is it anime?
Yes.
Not into it.
Damn it, Fabio! How dare you?
Oh shit! I know what I'll do while you guys are talking about it, though. I'm going to watch WWE Great Balls of Fire, which just started.
Do it and keep me posted.
We can talk about Dragon Ball Super, too, for a minute, if you want to talk about that. Too.
Oh, we will do that, too, while Pancho's here. Might as well.
Hell yeah.
I think, like, I'm not exaggerating. I'm sure Pancho will tell you because I tag him in every post that it happens. we get asked in a group, they ask the community, like, 2 to 3 times a week about the Figma from this series, My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia is a show, kind of like in the same vein of something like Sky High, that Disney film, about superheroes and the experiences of up and coming superheroes in a high school setting.
Is Kurt Russell in this one too?
Oh man, I fucking wish.
Not interested.
But I tell you what, if there was a live action version of the mentor of that series, it would be Kurt Russell.
Oh fuck yeah, you're right.
And I tell you that. And there's a figure for this series. The only ones that we have so far, we're going to get more in the future from Max Factory Figma. And this Figma is just incredibly expensive right now for what Figmas usually go for. And a lot of people always ask why. A lot of people don't really understand how this jumped up so quickly. And I mentioned it earlier on the page. It's a mix of a perfect storm.
Is this the figure that Mike took?
That's absolutely the figure.
Okay.
That's him right there. To shed some light on how Max Factory works for the future of new anime that you guys watch. When it's not something that's like really popular from Figma, like when it's not a Link, when it's not like Sword Art Online, when it's not like something Nintendo related, Max Factory, what they do with sites like HLJ and AmiAmi, they don't produce a number and then just have overstock. They wait like a month or two to put in a production order on their warehouse so that these websites don't get stuck with a lot of stock of an unproven license. This is really new. This is the first figure ever of this character. And I have to assume it's a case that they do with a lot of other anime, that they just didn't produce that many because people didn't pre-order it.
All right, well, tell me about the character, though. Give me the rundown on the premise for the show.
Pancho, hit him with the premise. You're better with words.
Shit, here we go. Okay, so My Hero Academia centers around, in the early, it centers around this character named Midoriya. Everybody calls him Deku, though. So to build the world, so in My Hero Academia, so people have had powers for like 5 generations now. Like it just started. It's almost similar to like X-Men and like how just the mutant gene just started. And so in this world, everybody has powers. It's very uncommon for you not to have powers. So now there are like hero agencies and stuff, basically just like another government branch just for people with powers who want to be like heroes and stuff. So obviously there's going to be like a school for that kind of stuff too. So the show and the anime and the manga center around this character named Deku, and he was born without a quirk. Like they're called quirks, they're not called powers, they're called quirks. So
Okay.
he was born without a power. But like he is like the ultimate fanboy of the world's most powerful hero. Basically, that world's version of Superman. Like everybody knows Superman, everybody loves Superman. He's this character named All Might, and he's the #1 hero and the most powerful hero in the entire world. And Deku has been obsessed with him since he was like a little kid. And so it gets to the point in the story where he realized he doesn't have powers, and like his like dream.
Real quick question. When do their powers? I don't know if you just said that or not. I was listening, but I don't know if I don't know. I was listening, but not listening. I'm sorry.
Like what triggers their powers and at what age it happens?
Yes.
It happens in like the first grade, right? Like generally for kids, right, Rick? It's first
Yeah,
grade.
around like first grade, second grade.
Yeesh, that's pretty fucking young. Okay.
Yeah, so the series starts where he's like about to go into high school. He's already accepted that he doesn't have powers, but he's like still very into superheroes and stuff, and like he is like constantly taking notes, and he's very educated about all these superheroes and all their powers and stuff like that. But he's still like devastated that he doesn't have powers. Basically, he meets up with his idol, All Might, and then he learns like All Might's secret. The show's been out for forever, so I'll go ahead and I'll break it down. So, basically, All Might, his power is not like his own power. He has the power to give his powers to other people, and it's like this long lineage of people who have had this power called All for One, and that's what the power is called. That makes him like super strong and whatever. So it ends up that All Might bestows this power onto Deku, Midoriya, whatever you want to call him. But like finally, he has powers. But the conflict comes that because he got his powers so late in the game, his body is not used to these powers at all. So every time he uses his like super strength or anything like that, like his bones like break because his body can't handle the stress of using these powers. So early on in the show, in the series, like the biggest conflict is the drama that centers around whether he should be using his powers or not, because the risk is usually always greater than the reward. But like it's really good. Like the anime isn't that far. There's like 2 seasons right now, but the manga is like so much further ahead. But in the anime, the first season centers around them going to school. He finally gets into the school, and like they do like their classroom stuff. And then the second season, it starts off with like this big like inter school tournament and stuff like that. And then it's gonna go into a place with like villains and whatnot. But the best thing about this show is like once you start watching this show, you will want a figure of every single one of these characters, no question. Like there is almost not there's not a character in this show you probably won't like, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2. Like if you like plucked any one of these secondary characters and like threw them like somewhere else, that there could be an entire other show centered around these characters. Every single one of these characters is so well rounded and so fleshed out. It's like really great. And his rival in the show, his name is Kachin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he is such a
Well, you give away too much.
all of what he's saying.
I think I want to check that.
All of what he's saying literally happens in the first episode, so he's actually not spoiling anything crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
He's just a very well-rounded character. Like there's a scene that lasts like 2 minutes that totally explains why he's such an asshole to everybody. Because like, he was just like, he's just like a born genius in terms of his powers, and like that just gets into his head so much. But like his character gets fleshed out even more, and like, man, there's so many there. This is like a really good show. It's all of the really great shonen moments of One Punch Man, but with like a lot of really great story put behind it. I know.
With true sincerity. Yeah.
What'd you say, Rick?
It's like he said, it's a lot of shonen moments like you have with One Punch Man, but with sincerity and no like satirical nature to it. This series was created by that loves American superheroes. This house is literally filled with Hot Toys and Marvel Legends. There's a video of them visiting his house and him talking about how much he loves Hero. So in a lot of ways, this main character is the creator, with how much he loves superheroes. If you love superheroes, even if you only kind of like anime, this show is for you.
No doubt. You definitely check it out. You guys sold me on this. I actually went back and caught up on One Punch Man or went through more episodes, and I actually warmed up to it this second time around. I actually like it. So
yeah, it's why a lot of people, like I said, in Plastic and Paint, they just keep seeing this picture of Michael's and other people's pictures, and they hear what it's about, and then they give it a try, and then they instantly fall in love, and they ask the question, why is the figure so expensive? Is there any more coming? You know, how many episodes is it on? Because it's if you love superheroes, this show is for you, because it's pretty great.
Well, Figma's pretty good at re-releasing stuff sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's what I told people too. The first season, believe it or not, was actually not that popular. For whatever reason, this second season caught on like fire. And I just don't think Max Factory and the creators of this manga itself knew that it was going to be that popular. So you can expect a reissue. I just don't know when it's going to happen. Like within the next 6 months to a year, it'll probably happen. I just can't give anybody like an honest idea of when that's going to happen.
All right, so
but it's going to come. It's going to come because it's too, people are way too into this show and into that figure for it to not happen.
Let's touch on Dragon Ball Super real quick too.
Boom! This is a fucking exciting time for Dragon Ball Super. I tell you that. We might have lost possibly the best closing ever with Boogie back, but it's still right now we're like starting the different universal tournament, and it's just it's been fantastic. Pancho?
Oh yeah, it's like, man, I remember when Super started, a lot of people were complaining that it wasn't Dragon Ball Z enough, like there wasn't a lot of action and stuff. But it's almost as if like they're laughing in the faces of all those people, because this is nothing but action the entire time. It's crazy. Like and there's just a lot of really good, like, it's a lot of action, but it's a lot of like smart action too. Like they're really they're exploring like the things that make Goku and Vegeta like not that great. Like they're both like very into themselves. They never work together and stuff. They're exploring that. They're exploring how like Dragon Ball Z kind of just turned into just the Saiyan show. But and then now that like, you know, Krillin, Tien, like everybody, even, you know, Master Roshi are back in the mix too. Like it's great, and the stakes are like mad high, because the interuniversal tournament is like, if your universe like gets eliminated, there's 10 people per universe. If all those 10 people get eliminated, then your universe is like erased. Period. And then that happened last night.
It just happened. So the stakes are very high. I know a lot of people initially thought that like, oh, you know, they just say it's going to happen, but it won't happen. And last night they totally just fucking erased an entire universe.
Yeah, I peeped the most recent episode. I do like how they really, at one point, at least for me, I don't know if other people, you know, I'm not the most diehard Dragon Ball Z person, but I definitely have kept up on Super. But at one point, I felt like Dragon Ball Z had like hit a ceiling, and it was like, you know, not much more that they could explore or do, but they have continued to build on this universe. And when I say this universe, I mean the entirety of the Dragon Ball Z universe, and like so much over these Dragon Ball Super episodes that I gotta really respect that, at least. Like, I mean, the stakes just keep getting higher and higher, and you know, you're meeting more and more powerful beings and people, and like you think that at some point that, you know, these things would cap, but they haven't, and I do like that. I will say that one thing that I didn't like about this past episode, and maybe the past couple episodes, I mean, I like the idea, I like the concept of everything that they're doing, but I wish that, I don't know, I guess I kind of wish that some of the action in the tournament was a little more spread out and a little more fast paced. I guess they'll focus on more things in the next few episodes, but it seems like it's been very centered on Goku and Vegeta, and like you don't really see what everyone else is doing and shit. Like I don't know. But
I know that too. Like the ever-present background of just explosions.
right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that kind of like bugs me a little bit, but I understand. I understand it, but I wish there were more cutscenes of like all the other shit that was happening. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's one of those things where like we can tell the next episode is not going to be Goku centered at all, and from the looks of it, what they're going to do is like they're going to give you an episode with each like little team in Goku's universe and who they're fighting and what's going on with them. And then hopefully after they do that, it's just all of them cutting back and forth to like, oh, Krillin's fighting this guy now. Oh, fuck, 17 is with this guy. Oh, shit, Goku's getting picked by this dude.
I can see that happening for sure. Because next week looks like it's just Krillin and 18.
Yeah, and I'll be excited for that because whenever Gohan and Piccolo's episode is, my eyes are going to be super glued to the screen. Loctite super glue. It's, I'm not going to blink for a fucking second. It's been really good, and like Pancho said, I think the thing that is to its biggest credit is that this show isn't too into what it is. I mean, they know that, and they proved it that at any moment Dragon Ball Z can come back and take over everything else, and they did, and they're not afraid to like, you know, show the flaws within their own characters. Like, you know, there's been a lot of episodes where they explore the flaws of different characters within the show, and they're not afraid to address the fact that there is those problems with Goku and Vegeta and with what they did to Gohan, and I've been more than happy with where we're at right now.
When obviously what they're doing with this universe expanding obviously opens up infinite possibilities for figures and shit too. So that's
they're fucking coming, and I'm really excited for what we're going to see at Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con. I think we're gonna see a lot. From what supposedly I've been told, we're going to see a lot.
Hell yeah! Can't wait.
Yeah, my favorite part was when Goku and Gohan joined together for like a father-son Kamehameha to blow away Cell. My favorite part.
Hey, I'll tell you this. It's my favorite scene of all time for Dragon Ball. So you're right there with me, friend.
See, I know. I'm with it, guys. I know what's up.
Boom. Leave it to Fabio.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about you guys been getting the Gotham Diamond Select figures?
I have some of them.
Yeah, because the Hugo Strange that just came out has been kind of blowing up the board. A lot of people are getting it just for the accessories, doing head swaps for that suited body with the pinstripes. I know Adam Smith took that that head and made his own custom Wong, because actually the actor's name that plays Hugo Strange is B.D. Wong, so all kind of works out. Yeah, it's a fantastic value. It's at Toys R Us right now. It's like $15, maybe $13.
Yeah, next time Boog sees Zach, he needs to give him like a fantastic football player slap to the ass, because these accessories have been just killing it. You know, from the bookcase that Bruce comes to the fucking desk that you get with the Riddler, to the giant. Well, I mean, it's giant to me because the scale is so big. Mm-hmm. Arkham Asylum gate that you get with the original Babs. You know, this they're not afraid to give like all these really sick accessories and dio pieces.
Yeah, the Diamond Select in general, they make the females in true scale with the males, where Marvel Legends, all the females are the same height as the males. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like the best example is Kitty Pryde, the recent Hasbro one. Why is she so big?
Yeah,
she's such a small girl.
But yeah, pretty much across the board, not just Marvel Select, but just Diamond Select figures. You get like that vampire chick show, or zombie, the iZombie chick. Zombie. Yeah, all those figures are great. The accessories that they come with are great, and then the X-Files figures, they come with fantastic accessories.
Yeah, that new iZombie comes with the coffee cup holder. It's man, it's fucking awesome.
I actually just brought it up because the Boog, the picture that Boog had up, I think it was Al Chang's picture. He put the Jean Grey head on the iZombie body.
Yeah, that looked fucking good, man. Al Chang is out here swapping away.
Al and Adam, I told them I'm totally biting your ideas.
Yeah.
I ordered that Hugo Strange and let's see, and the Terror Dogs.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Riel from the same wave just came out too. That's pretty solid. It has like a case that you can put a sword inside of.
I need a shitload of those Terror Dogs. I'm
Breeze in that as well.
Copying Mike Wang, and I'm getting Guts his Terror like demon devil dogs because those are so incredible.
Yeah, I mean, to its credit, iZombie is actually a pretty good show. It just finished season 3, and it's a solid show.
I hear it's a really good show, so I plan on checking it out just on the fact alone to sell me more on buying just a shitload of that character.
What's even more crazy is that you're getting pretty good articulation, great sculpt, great paint, and awesome accessories, and they're like $5 cheaper than Legends.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts.
That's the Toys R Us exclusive version. The ones that you get at your comic shop will usually have probably like $25, like a regular Diamond Select price, and they'll come with some sort of base or a little diorama.
You want to know something even crazier, Todd? The even crazier when you're relating price is as stupid as it may seem is the Muppets figures. There's literally right now on a peg a Muppets figure set that comes with 3 figures that are all equally articulated. They come with a bunch of accessories, and there's 3 figures in the box. A bunch of accessories. They're all pretty well articulated, and they're all and it's all $20.
And even the deluxe Diamond Select figures, most of the time you can find them on Amazon for like $20.
Mm-hmm.
Shipped. So
I'm still trying to get a little Bruce Wayne so I can have a bookshelf.
Yeah, that bookshelf is awesome. And then there's is it Alfred, or I don't remember who comes with the fireplace.
Yeah, it's Alfred.
Yeah,
I got the fireplace.
You have to look at like every Diamond Select line because they don't fuck around, man. They're here for keeps.
So while we're talking about just random things right now, I just saw somebody in PNP link this, and I wanted to talk about this because I saw Pixel Dan's video earlier. This is I'm going to screen share it right now. This is the SDCC exclusive Playmates TMNT Usagi Yojimbo action figure.
Oh man, people are going to lose their minds over that. This new season is all based on him and the samurai.
Yep, and it comes with an original print of 1987 comic book and a 1989 comic book, and the retail price on this is $30. Here's the kicker: limited to 350 pieces.
Oh my god!
What?
Yep,
that's nuts.
I'm glad I won't be at Comic-Con for this.
Can we see a closer picture of that shit?
Oh shit! Wait,
if that doesn't sell out on preview night, then that's nuts.
Well, they probably only gonna do like 100 a day or some shit.
Yeah, they're probably going to allocate for 3 days. 300, 100 one day, 100 one day, 100 one day.
Maybe 50 for preview night. Yeah, this is
maybe 50 for preview night.
So you get the 2 comic books and this little. I mean, there's really no other better pictures right now, but the weapons on Usagi are actually painted. He comes with 3 heads. He comes with a flag. He comes with a little dinosaur dude.
I'm sure David Walton is like screaming to the wind right now.
I know. Punker Mike is right now for sure.
Punker Mike shit.
Yeah, fucking David Walton is probably like the biggest fan of this character I've ever met. He's like bought like 3 different imported figures to like mishmash a perfect version of this guy.
This is not a bad looking set at all. If you
if I was a big fan of TMNT like that, this would be a must have. I'm glad that I'm not because it is pretty cool and I don't collect it. And I'm telling
as Pixel Dan said, some of their other exclusives have been like pretty passable.
Very passable, honestly.
Been, like very easy to pass, like just straight pass on them. But this is pretty much a must-own set if you're a fan of this franchise.
Now, Fabio, scroll down a little bit more.
What,
yeah,
hey,
Arnold, man.
Keep going.
Arnold.
Maybe you passed it. A lot of people have been wanting a powdered toast man forever.
Oh, Well, here's more pictures of Usagi.
I think that powdered toast was a statue, maybe.
Wait, how many people have been wanting a powdered toast man?
Dude, what? Everyone wants powdered toast.
This is literally the first time I'm hearing the words powdered toast and man in that order in like 15 years.
That means you don't fuck with Ren and Stimpy.
I mean, I remember Ren and Stimpy, but geez, not like that.
Everybody remembers Ren
And
and
then
Stimpy.
I'm out here fucking the crazy one because I'm excited for Paul Reiser and Aliens.
Yeah. Ren and Stimpy fans love that character.
Oh
Alien
yeah,
fans love that character. So yeah, everybody's got their niche.
I'm liking it, man.
Yeah, this is a good looking box for sure.
I hated Paul Reiser for so many years just because of that character. I hate fucking Burke. He did such a good job. You know, he's perfect for that job. But I mean, he sold it so much that I fucking hated the actor himself. You know, like I wanted to kill
Ripley and her team killed, you asshole.
No, I wanted to choke his brains out. That was my favorite movie for so long.
That was another one of the big stories. Was the fucking crazy reaction to Paul Reiser, to Burke being made in the Aliens line, and the age-old argument. Anyway, that's Usagi or Jimbo. Do we want to start taking some questions?
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh wait, before we do that, you can address AI really quick if you want, Boog.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's our next topic. So let me pull up the email while you guys. Rick, why don't you introduce it?
Well, we got pictures, man. They have arrived at the warehouse. They're there at the sorting facility. So, you know, I mean, maybe I'm being a little too nice and optimistic with it, but we can literally start having shipping emails at any moment.
I think it's going to take quite a while for them to sort all that shit.
Yeah, being honest, they're gonna take at the very, very least a week and a half.
I'm not saying that from any inside information. Just looking at the volume, and yeah, the volume is nuts. That's going to take a minute.
Yeah, that was an entire. I'm going to pull up a picture right now. That was an entire shipping container packed to the gills with boxes of ninjas.
That's nuts.
I'm looking for it. Hang on.
While you're looking for it, where did you find that post with the Usagi at?
That was on Nerdist.
I am not finding it. I even typed Usagi in and it didn't come up.
Somebody put the link in PNP, so look for it there.
Oh, okay, I'll just go to PNP then.
It's on the third page of the Nerdist website, Rick.
Okay, third page.
Yeah.
Boom. We're on page number 3 now.
It's at the very bottom.
There we go.
Oh, also something Marvel Legends that came up this week is I mentioned, I think last time I was on the show, that I reviewed 3 of the figures from the A-Force box set. So go check those out on my channel, Rectangular with a K. But speaking of the A-Force box set, apparently you will be able to buy it at SDCC, $120, probably plus tax. And simultaneously, Toys R Us is going to be putting it up on their website.
Yeah, they're going to be putting up MP10 Optimus Prime Matrix of Leadership version. They're going to have an entire set of the Voltron, so you don't have to buy the individual limbs. They're going to have the Isaac Yankum. I know Fabio's going to love that one.
I mean, I got the Shockmaster from last year, but Isaac Yankum.
Dude, I never got Shockmaster. I'm still depressed.
You don't have one? Oh, come on, man. I thought you were.
I never had time to go to the fucking what's it called?
Booth?
To the Mattel booth.
Man, there was no line at the Mattel booth. Rightly so.
One thing you left out, Fabio, was I didn't know that this Usagi exclusive is probably at one of the worst booths you can go to. If you think Hasbro's a problem, if you think Mattel or Bandai is a problem, the Nickelodeon booth is absolutely insane. It is practically impossible to get anything they have. I went every day. I had an exhibitor's badge. I can go in before anyone. I went every day to try to buy a t-shirt, and they were always sold out. That booth is a fucking nightmare. I'm sorry for anybody who wants that set. You're going to have to pay out the ass for it because this booth is the worst next to Funko. It's a nightmare. I couldn't buy a shirt. Jesus. Oh God.
Well, on a lighter note, here is all of our ninjas. Literally all of them.
Hey, don't shit on Samurai.
Well, here's our samurai too. Here's our feudal series.
There you go. Feudal
Here's our
series.
feudal series. Right, whatever. This is a person right here in the corner for scale. I would say that it's probably
10 feet?
these are like, this is probably like 2 boxes higher than the head of this person right here. This is a lot of boxes. It's going to take a minute or two to sort these out, get them sorted into each individual order, especially because so many people got so many of these. Like, everybody's getting at least like fucking 6 boxes.
And understand the enormity of this task when it's like 3 or 4 guys from the food handling this shit. It's not like they have like a million employees and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think fucking Adam and Beardy and Renee are like on site doing the shipping and sorting themselves, but you know,
I wouldn't doubt that they are involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, in some form or fashion. I don't see. I don't know. Again, like, I don't know the specifics, but I don't see them like outsourcing this work too much. Like, you know, they're gonna get in there and do what they got to do and shit.
Yep.
But yeah, man.
I mean, this right here is a shipping container right here. And like I said, it is packed way to the top. Look, there's not even room for another box at the top of this right here.
That's crazy.
And then here it is again in the background, open. Jesus, I mean, it goes around the corner. Look at this.
That's a truck, but they're gonna be putting all of that shit in a shipping container, I assume. But yeah, you know what? You're right. I guess it is a container on the truck. I guess. I don't.
Yeah.
They better get that
shipping container on the back of it.
They better get that stuff inside before a tornado hits.
Right.
Yeah, it's Arkansas. It's in the middle of Tornado Alley. That's a great point.
Yeah, before it rains.
A light drizzle, and I'm getting my money back. No.
But yeah,
I mean, this is nuts, man. It just goes to show you, like, there was a good amount of support for this. And if you're just now asking, oh, where can I pre-order these? You're shit out of luck, dude.
so I see people every day just now asking.
Right. You had fucking 2 years, and people are still like, I don't know, where can I get these?
You snooze, you lose.
Dude, seriously.
So yeah, man, this is very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm very very excited to have these in hand and to see what displays are going to be looking like in the next couple of months. All of the things that I couldn't even think of as far as like swaps and different things you can do.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to see a lot of that stuff. So.
And just as a reminder, if you are a backer, you did get an email update for this. So this is the exact email that you would have gotten. They also resent the 48-hour address confirmation. So if you've moved in the last 2 years, you may want to make sure you get the right address. So your new tenant is going to have to get your boxes for you. And who knows, they might want to keep it.
Scalp them shits.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, some people might know what they're getting into and they'll get an easy fortune out of it. Anyway, that's exciting news. We are in the home stretch officially.
Pretty much.
It is fucking coming. And I'm not talking about any type of pornographic reference.
Mike Odom, how soon do you think we'll have it in hand? Honestly, optimistically, by the end of the month.
I don't think that's
By the
happening.
beginning of next month.
Actually, you know what? Put a bigger delay on it because all of the guys from this team, they all go to Comic-Con and they all work for different companies. So
that's right. Comic-Con's gonna delay things for sure.
Definitely. But even if Comic-Con wasn't close, I don't see it being that soon. It's going to take a moment to start sorting through all of this shit. So, but yeah, soon, before the summer's over.
I feel bad for anyone
before summer's over. They're coming
all the way too. Like Captain America said, patience, virtue.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so long now. Like, you know, is anybody really like that crazy right now? It's been so long. You know, another month and a half is honestly not an issue. They're in the USA. We have pictures of it. You know, they're not just sending you a text message, blowing smoke up your ass.
And the good shit is, it's not like you have to do anything else. You already got your shit completely paid for, so you're good. You just gotta sit tight.
Not much longer now.
I want to delay because I'm waiting for my diorama to get done.
Geez, still.
Yeah.
Let's take some questions though.
Yeah, I saw somebody had a question for you earlier on in the broadcast. Question for Boog. How come you don't get a custom Jim Lee style Wolverine from a customizer like B Customs? He knows you would get some great picks with it.
Is that B Customs asking that?
No, some dude named Taco Taco, who I guess follows you on Instagram. He's just
I'm
a fan. He wants to know why you don't have any custom.
Yeah, I'm not really a big purchaser of custom figures. I'm just not really ever really in the market for custom figures. I recognize that there are people out there doing great work, but anything beyond like little minor kit bashes and head swaps and shit like that, I don't really, I just don't really spend money on that. I would rather spend money on a diorama or something like that, and stick to the stock figures from different lines. But I do recognize that there are some people out there doing some amazing work, and I do like to look at that stuff, and I like to see other people's displays and stuff. But I very rarely spend my money on a custom figure. I can't even tell you the last time I bought an actual custom figure from someone. I don't know. So
yeah, you've mentioned that before. I don't think you really have any customs, to be honest. Do you?
No, I got maybe like 2 or 3. I've had some early customs from Solid, and that's probably about it, really.
Yeah, with customs, you gotta, if you're gonna do A.C.B.A. with them, you gotta be super careful not to screw up the paint. Either that, or you gotta make sure the customizer went above and beyond to prep the figure so that you don't screw up the paint.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I have a good amount of customs, but a lot of it is stuff that I made, and it's all through trial and error that I've learned to, get rid of joint rub and all that stuff.
Right. Anything like that, that's all great. And any DIY shit, that's all fine and dandy. But for me to spend $100-$200 on a custom figure, I just don't really. I don't value it that much. I'd rather spend that on a diorama, honestly.
Oddly enough, it's funny that he brings that up about customs. I'm probably gonna make my first venture into one with I'm gonna try to ask Chris Serta, who Todd has on his podcast not long ago, if he can make me something. And I'm just sick of waiting for a company to make a proper Static Shock. I'm just gonna pay whatever he wants to make a great one.
Shut up and take my money, right?
Yeah, calling him up right now, straight to Texas.
That shouldn't be super difficult since there's not a lot of intricate sculpt and it's mostly black, figure.
Mostly no sculpting. I'm going to provide the bodies, so I'm going to try to see what he can do. People that customize like him, I have a lot of great respect for the price point that they charge and the work that they put in. It's fair. But like Boog said, there's some people, I'm not going to name no names, but everybody knows who they are, that charge pretty insane prices that I'm just not rocking with. It's not worth it to me at that point.
Right. And if you are trying to get a custom, don't pay up front. That's a scam.
Yeah, I mean, putting a deposit is one thing, but paying the whole thing up front, you got.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I've only gotten a couple of commissions from Aaron Williams, and he always says, "Yeah, just pay me when it's done." Like that's fair to me.
Yeah, putting a deposit is pretty standard, but yeah, paying the whole thing up front, I definitely don't like that.
On the note of the example that he used, like a Jim Lee style Wolverine, Hasbro's going to do it. Just give it another year, another few months. Hasbro's going to do a yellow tiger stripe Wolverine on that same.
Yeah, there's no question about that. There's no question.
There's no need to pay like $100 for a custom, something like that. That's like pretty common. Something like what Rick mentioned with a good Static Shock. Slightly, less likely that a company will make it. Then it might be worth it. But if it's like an iconic look of a character that they just haven't made yet, they're going to make it. There's really no need to pay out the ass for it.
What Hasbro should do is release some sort of like deluxe version of Wolverine, and they'll give us that Tiger Stripe Wolverine on the new buck that they put out in the Juggernaut Wave, and they'll give us an additional head in that pack, as well as a head, like an angry screaming head for your brown suit Wolverine. If they would do some shit like that, that would be amazing. But if they don't, me getting an additional head sculpt for Wolverine, I definitely do that. Again, like I said, little shit like that, different head sculpts and shit like that, I'm all cool with that. But a full-on custom figure, I'm just not.
At the prices that some of these artists charge, you know, I'm just not willing to do it. Not saying they're not worth it, but for me, they are not worth it. For somebody else, you know, it's not a problem. You know, they want to pay that price, that's on them. But for me, paying the 250 to 350 that some of these artists charge, it's not for me. Like Boog said, you know, I'd rather pay for like a really sick dio.
You can have a fucking Hot Toys figure. You can have like 3 or 4 Mezco figures. You could have all types of shit for that price. When I start doing that and I start like, you know, equating it to other things and shit like that, I feel duped. So I just don't try to get into it.
Yeah, I would feel foolish paying like. And there's plenty of customizers that it happens to. They start making, you know, a version of a character that hasn't been quite made yet, and then the next Hasbro press release comes out, and sure enough, they're making that same character on the same recipe, basically.
Well, you know, Hasbro is always looking at these customizers. People that
of course, but I would feel foolish if that were me, and I paid 100, 150 or whatever for a custom of Tiger Stripe Wolverine, and then at SDCC we find out they're making it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd feel foolish for sure. Moving on, let's get our next question going on.
I guess we're going to start seeing some reveals very shortly for SDCC.
Yeah, it's only weeks away, like 2 weeks away at this point.
Yep.
Let's see.
Are you going, Fabio?
I am not going to the con, but if enough people in the community are down there, I might just go down for the day and go grab lunch or dinner with some of the people. Or maybe I can get snuck in. Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's talk about Photo Combat real quick because we've had like 3 questions about it. Any updates? We still waiting?
Combat's supposed to be kicking off in August. So we are still in the very early planning stages. We have a theme. We have a photo for the theme, and we got a team, and we're moving forward. We just made some adjustments with our admins, and so now we're trying to splinter off into groups to plan Photo Combat and do other shit that we got to do. But yeah, Photo Combat is. I'm excited for Photo Combat this year. So yeah, it's been a very good turnout for the past 2 years. In some ways, this competition has surpassed the World Tournament. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. But August, we're looking at August, which is a month away.
You know,
this year?
No, definitely not competing. But yeah, just doing the planning and judging and all of that stuff. But yeah, I don't have the time to compete though.
Somebody in the comments asked, they didn't specify who it was, but being who we have here on the panel, it's either got to be Boog or it's got to be Todd, asked why you hate the new Spidey 2099 figure. One of you two, because the rest of us don't review like that.
Well,
it wasn't me.
I didn't say that I hate the figure. I just wasn't a fan of the costume. But it's actually, the costume has actually grown on me now that I've like seen it in action in the comics and looked at different shit.
It also helps that figure photographs really well.
It does, and the obviously, like I said in the review too, that buck is phenomenal. So that makes you like the figure more as you mess around with it and you mess with those butterfly joints and the articulation and everything on that figure is top notch. But yeah, I just wasn't a fan of the costume, but it's grown on me. I like it. I like it more now.
It's a good buck. There's not a lot to hate on it. If it's just the costume design, that's one thing. But the figure itself is pretty solid. And I know that from having another figure on the same buck. It's a good buck. We're getting Bullseye on. I
even like this new costume that they put out in the Mary Jane 2-pack. I didn't really like the way that looked when they first showed it in the comic books, but that one's grown on me too.
Oh, before we go, and I spoke to Boog about this privately, but I wanted to give a shout out to Peppy for updating the A.C.B.A. or articulatedcomicbookart.com website. It looks great.
Yeah, it looks really good. But one thing that I haven't really that I didn't share with too many people was that the reason that shit was like really slow and shit was just not moving how we wanted to in these past couple of weeks is because Peppy was like really sick and she was like hospitalized for almost 2 weeks a little bit ago, and she's like home and better, but like literally can't do anything or go anywhere while she's still recovering and shit. So, so this past 2 weeks or so, she's been healthy enough or had enough strength to like work on different shit, and she fixed up the site and did a bunch of shit that we needed to do behind the scenes, and now we're going to be moving forward with a lot of product that we wanted to put out and different stuff we wanted to do. So she's definitely doing much better, but like she was like really sick for a moment. Like it was bad. So so yeah, it's better now, and yeah, I do like the site too. It looks really good.
He's alive.
Basically.
Yeah, the website's looking really good.
Yeah, and you guys put up more shirts, so I had to pull the trigger on a couple shirts.
Yeah, go get some shirts. We still got 2 promotions running on the site right now. We had the last like 30 cutouts from the martial artists pack, and so those people that purchased that last pack are in the running for a basic ninja from Articulated Icons, and we have our flying rat packs, which is basically just the pigeons that came with the heroes. I forget the name. Was it Claude? Yeah, Claude.
Yeah.
Invisible guy.
So you can get a 4-pack of those for $12, and you will be automatically entered into a drawing for a Spider-Gwen figure from Reveltech, which is great. And so essentially, you could probably win that. You could win that figure for $12, and you'll have your pigeons for your displays as well. And then we had one more promotion where we dropped the Dial Structure T-shirt in white and gray, and if you buy one of those, you're automatically entered into a drawing for $50 in Big Bad Toy Store credit and $50 towards, or $50 in credit towards a diorama from our figures. So those are the things that's running on the website right now. And today is the last day for you to join our 30K giveaway on Instagram. So we hit 30,000 followers on Instagram this past week. And we're giving away a prize package that is sponsored in part by Diamond Select. So shout out to Zach O. He sent us some mini mates, the Spider-Man Homecoming mini mates, all 4-pack.
Not only is that guy directing that company to give us great figures and accessories, but he's out here giving us shit too.
Right. So, you know, big shout out to Zach. He always shows us love and all of the tournaments. He always sponsors all tournaments and all things that we have. And this is not even part of the tournament. This was just something that he did actually in conjunction with Bob Joint, who was trying to get some gratis stuff. And I told Zach that we give some shit away. And I'm pretty sure that we just we bumped up Diamond's Instagram by like 500 followers this past week. So so that was pretty cool. And yeah, so shout out to Zach. You get all 4 of the current Spider-Man mini mates. I don't even know if they're actually out yet at retail, but you get those. You will get the S.H. Figure Arts Spider-Man Homecoming figure, and you will get the Marvel Legends homemade suit figure. So that's the full prize pack. One person is going to win all of that. All you had to do was repost the image with the hashtag A.C.B.A_30K giveaway and tag 2 friends on that original post. A lot of you did it the wrong fucking way. A lot of you were messaging us and doing all types of funky shit. So, I mean, if you didn't do it properly, then you're not in the running. So you better go check and make sure that you tag 2 friends on the original post, reposted that image with the hashtag A.C.B.A_30K giveaway. And that is going to close at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time tonight. So, and then like Todd mentioned, aside from that, we got a bunch of shirts on the site. And flight stands will be coming back in a couple of months. They are going into production very shortly. And we got a new cutout pack dropping shortly as well. So I did all of the plugs for the end of the show right now. So I don't have to say anything else.
Well, we needed time to build up the questions, so that was good. And while you did that, I pulled up that BD Wong, Wong figure that Adam Smith did.
Oh, that looks dope.
Yeah, so he put the Iron Fist wrapped hands on the Mordo body. Looks like he painted the neck to match the head.
Oh,
that's
and
legit.
the Hugo Strange head. I see what you were saying.
Yeah, that's the Hugo Strange head. The actor's name is B.D. Wong, and then he took the Hugo Strange body and gave him some, accessories and Doctor Strange head. So looks good. Looks
Yeah, I
real
don't
good.
like the Kid Bash Master, yo. He's always got some cool kid.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a great looking set right there. I'm gonna go ahead and vote that as my my picture of the week on Plastic and Paint.
To put Rick too.
Anyway, let's move back to the Q&A. Somebody said my voice is appealing. Thanks.
Wow.
I have been told I have a good voice. That's why
Go
my
down
dream
to
job
LA.
is a wrestling ring announcer.
Go down to LA and listen to him live.
Oh, this past week, Stan Lee's wife passed away. I had no clue that he was married.
Yep, the voice better known as the voice of Madam Web.
Really?
Yeah, he was married for 60-something years.
Come on,
Yeah.
she was the voice of Madam Web on the animated show?
Yes.
Really?
Mhm.
I did not know that. Okay. Well, you know what? I think we talked about this on a podcast some months back where I was questioning whether or not he had kids or a wife or what. Like, I feel like we never hear about that shit up until right now when she passed. But
Yeah, I guess it's just been so like, not low key, but just so like the standard that no one even talks about it. Like there's it's the status quo. It's just like he's been married since like 1943, which is insane.
that's crazy. But that's great, man. She was what, 93 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever have time, you should check out the Stan Lee story. You could easily look it up on YouTube. It's a very quick video where he tells an interviewer that You Just Hit the Jackpot Tiger was actually, based on him meeting his wife.
Mm.
He didn't say you just hit the jackpot, but that exact scene happened to him in real life, supposedly.
Gotcha. And it's funny because when he met his wife, that's pretty much like some old 30s kind of talk right there too.
Yep.
Hey there, gal. You want to go out on the town?
You see?
I really want to take you out, see?
Let me tell you something, you dame.
You're a proper gal who should be with a proper man, not a dandy.
I'm a kind of man that writes comic books.
Get
You
some
don't want to be
questions
a
in.
harlot? Let's get married.
When he met her, it was okay to slap the shit out of your wife.
People
Sonic
would give
Rock
him
Man
high
says
fives for
that-
being racist in his age when they got married. That's pretty wild.
Yo, he's been through all the eras, yo. It's crazy.
Let's get some questions. Guy, got to go to dinner soon.
Sonic
cool.
Rockman says, you snooze, you lose, expensive and more like bills in life. I think he's talking about AI. I think it was worth eating cup noodles for a little bit. It will be, at least.
Well, put it this way. If you waited and you won them, you're going to pay twice as much now.
Right.
The secondary market's going to eat you alive on those figures.
Oh yeah, no question, man. I don't even want to think about what a red ninja is going to be going for on fucking eBay in a second.
Let's see if we got any more questions. For all of us, Sonic Rockman, have you noticed that some pictures on the A.C.B.A page are not in good lighting, like realistic lighting? Have we noticed any trends? Let's make that a little more general.
I think throughout A.C.B.A's history, it's been very easy for dramatic effect for people to take pictures to want to have really low light. And even I'm nobody. I don't even think anybody on this panel is an exception to the fact that it's just very easy to want that dramatic, dark effect on a picture. And only after you sit down and look at the 100 pictures you took, you're like, fuck, this is too dark.
Yeah. And if it's not too dark, it's too grainy.
Yeah.
If you're taking a picture with a phone, you need a lot of light.
With
anything.
I could understand you take your 100 pictures, you realize like Fabio said, it's either too dark or it's too grainy, and you're just like, oh well, fuck it, I'm just gonna post it anyways, and it's what ends up happening.
Yeah, that's not the right attitude to have. If you notice anything,
Yeah.
I can tell you the amount of times I've been happy with a photo shoot after I take it off the tripod and bring it over here, and I plug it in and I see it on the big screen, and there's a flight stand here or something overlapping where I don't want it to look, and it's kind of taken away from, or maybe creating too much clutter or too much negative space, the opposite, whatever. And I just bite the bullet, go right back to the setup. It's still on the table. I just need to put the camera back in the tripod and get the the framing right again.
I know early on, something that both Boog and Pharaoh would do a lot of, which was, I think, was done too much, and it was, that goes with the evolution of the art, was just putting a single light over the entire display.
Yeah, like a very like Batman dramatic panel of a comic book.
Yeah, and
But even when you do that, you need fill lights everywhere else in the background, whatever.
yeah, I mean, it got done way too much early on, and then thank goodness everybody evolved. But yeah, like Michael Wisman was saying on the Go Figure podcast that he was on, most of the time he'll put up a setup kind of not necessarily in the middle of the room, but he'll put his lights are nowhere near his display. They're all in the back of the room. And so it's all just ambient light that's filling up, from way behind the display or in front of the display. So, you just gotta play around with things, to find your, what's going to work best for you.
Let's see. A specific example he elaborated on, like the figures on a rooftop, moon is on the right, figures facing left.
Oh
Figures
my God,
everywhere except on the figures back from the moon.
The big moon. You're just never going to escape it, man.
That I was talking to my girl about that last night. That bothers me more than anything, is seeing when the moon behind a figure is as big or bigger than the figure. That drives me nuts. It's like
on its way there.
Yeah, we were outside, walking the dogs because it's so hot here. Wait till it's dark, and there's a fire burning about 100 miles from here. So the moon was real red, and it was full. But on the horizon, it's no, like if somebody's standing in front of you and they're looking at you with the moon behind you, it's like no bigger than a silver dollar. So I don't mind if it's a little bit bigger than that, but when it's like taking up the whole profile of the figure, that's just nuts.
I blame shots with a big moon on Nightmare Before Christmas, man. Just blame it on Jack and Sally. That love is forbidden.
Speaking of moons, did anybody catch the very slight Batman reference in Spider-Man?
That was fantastic.
All right, good. Moving on, let's see. Chris Lyons is elaborating on this point too. Back in 2013, there was a trend on A.C.B.A. I like to call the Dark Ages. Everybody was taking pics in super low light. Boog and the admins actually had to make an effort to pull people away from the trend.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the people with respect that I blame for it is because he takes probably the best dark shots, at least in my opinion, not just because he's a friend of mine, but the best like very dark shots I see on the page are Pharaoh's. And it's no surprise people really, grumpy man and all, people really love that guy. And it was easy for them to want to emulate him.
Yeah,
and
it was hard for a lot of people to do that shit, though.
Yeah, just the other day I bumped like a couple of like 6-month-old pictures of Pharaoh's, and I was just so shocked with how dark they were, but how clear they were and how much you could see everything at the same time. And it just reminded me of what we're discussing right now, the Dark Age, where everyone just wanted to take the Pharaoh black picture, the dark picture, but nobody wanted to put in the time or knew what to do to take that picture to not make it so overly dark and grainy.
The thing about lighting is like it's unique. It's unique to whatever you have within your means, whatever type of lights you have, whatever type of setup you have. If you desk, if you on a floor, if you on this, you on that, you have to find that right mix for yourself. I mean, there are a few basic guidelines to go by as far as making sure you have some space between your backdrop and your diorama and the figures and stuff like that. If you're doing something that's lit, if you're doing something that's dark, you don't want the light hitting your felt or your black towel or whatever you have in the background. I mean, it's a few basic principles you could follow, but like nobody's lighting setup is the same. Like, you know, you just got to figure it out. It's a ton of trial and error. You just got to keep trying, and you can't be trying to rush shit. You can't be trying to like thinking that you got it down and hurrying up and running to post shit. I mean, honestly, you should post shit though. You should actually post your stuff, because then you can get feedback and you can go back to the drawing board. But it takes time. It takes a lot of fucking time, especially for you to be comfortable with your light setup. Some people have phenomenal light setups, and you know, it's some people like Wisman that'll use a lot of natural light, and some people like Logan Stark, who can do crazy shit with dramatic lights and colors and shit too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's somebody like Michael Amsberg, who can use a lot of lights, and you know, he's with that sort of like arena look, because he's doing a lot of wrestling shit. So there's a lot of lights in his setup. But like, you know, it takes a lot of time, man. It takes a lot of trial and error.
It's one of those things where even, you know, I looked just the other day. We were changed from admins to moderators, and I looked at my ad date, and it said 6 years ago, and I was just you know, taking pictures just the other day, and I had the same thing where I end up doing something too quick, and I change my mind the next day on how a picture should be. So like as much as people wouldn't want to do it, I leave up a display for like 2 days just to make sure. Let me sit on the picture before I post it. Like, man, is this shit really at the right, you know, is everything all right? You know, I look at every angle. I send it to a friend. I ask him, is there anything wrong? What can you see that's fucked up? Like, you know, it's one of those things where it doesn't matter whether you joined last month or 6 years ago. You know, you can still make those mistakes and have those times where you doubt what you do and how it looks and why it looks that way.
I'll go through some pictures real quick, actually, too, since we're talking about shit or whatever. We could talk about it.
While we're talking about that, or while you're doing that, I'm looking up right now the Marvel Legends Human Torch, because somebody brought up the fact that we didn't really talk about it.
Oh yeah, that looks fantastic.
Yeah,
I put it up in my last news video.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this shit, honestly.
I mean, it looks as good as you'd expect.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what it looks like? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that old, the old Toy Biz version where you like swap out the heads and shit. Like,
oh god, I know exactly the Johnny that you're talking about. The one with like the fiery shoulder head.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason. I don't know. That the red on the body looks real stupid.
Trust this picture. I think Todd has brought it up in a previous video from years ago, probably, where a lot of the pictures that these China sellers put up, these are like very early sample pictures. Like, I mean, I think even if you look in this package, there's literally three different fists, and 3 of the fists are for one hand.
And he's got a serial number on his forehead too.
Yeah, he's got a serial. There's a lot of things that aren't correct with this. Like,
like the hands from the Iceman figure. So I'm assuming that maybe it's that body too. No, it's not, because I don't see the butterfly drum. Right?
Yeah, and I mean, look at those 2 hands right there. They're literally the same hand, and then he has a fifth on his hand in the package too. So it's like 3 of the same exact hand. So many things can be different.
Yeah, I think it comes with a pair of regular fists, and it comes with a pair of fists with flames on the back. That's what
I mean,
the regular fists are still fucking hot. So what the fuck does?
I think maybe one of them is meant to be so you can, you know, the regular fist is so you can slip these flame effects over them, and then the other ones are just for more, you know, relaxed.
They need to stay away from that yellow being so heavy. I'm honestly, when I get the figure in, I'm taking a cotton swab and nail polish remover to that yellow. It's terrible. It's very cheesy. It looks like somebody dipped it in fondue and left it overnight. It's gotta be taken off. They gotta lean away from that yellow like that.
Here, let me screen share because I've got more recent pictures than that.
While he's doing that picture that you showed, Boog, of that little apartment right there. If anybody is interested in having a Keiyo, go to Target. This is the lorry. Yeah, and it's pretty cool that he turned one of those nubs into like a little outlet, it looks like.
Yeah, that's my man Steve. He's from the Bronx, actually. He actually had a bunch of little custom, like, accents that he was selling recently. I wanted to actually get some for myself, but he had like the little Nike bags and the boxes and shit like that.
Yeah, he had the stacks of the cash. Man, yeah, Steve is fucking killing it when it comes to accessory packs that he sells. Always keep an eye out for him.
But he's come up as far as not only doing that, but just like his style of display and his displays in general have greatly improved over the past couple of years and shit. So you know, I like what
You
he's
guys see
doing.
this? These are the first look at Surtur, and it's a Funko Pop.
So
I've seen two of Steven's dioramas in person, and they're really nice.
So yeah, he's doing his thing. This is nicely put together. The whole thing is nicely staged. It's not too cluttered. It's not too much shit going on. It's looks like really good natural lighting coming in the back of the display here. The posing is on point. Everything looks real.
Yeah,
it
helps that.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it helps a lot that the set really does, like, even though it's a ballet studio, it plays really easily as a New York apartment.
Yep. And I would have probably tucked this leg up under her onto the bench. Like, you know, when I'm looking at shit, I'm looking at every little minor detail because you know, it just comes from judging the tournaments and shit like that. So I'm always looking at those little things. But everything here looks very, very good. You know, his body is as flat as you could probably get into the couch here. You know, it's just shit like that. Like, you know, it's really just about taking your time and looking at every single thing. I probably would have put that book, pushed it into her hand more, and spread the fingers out. But it doesn't matter. She could be holding it on her fingers or whatever. But yeah, this is it's a good shot. You know, looking at this guy right here, Robert Garcia. He just posted like 3 pictures in a row, and I wouldn't advise that you do that. Like, you know, he needed to stay on one of these pictures and flesh one out and really get the focus right. You know, when you have a cutout this big in the display, it should probably be the focal point of your shot. So it should probably be in focus. But this is so cluttered. There's so much going on in the frame that, you know, it just looks like a mess. It looks, you know, this looks like a mess. The lighting is crazy. He hasn't figured out his own lighting system. You know, but to come out and just post 3 pictures right out the gate like that, it just doesn't make sense. You should probably just focus on one of these shots and move forward. This shit, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Oh boy.
But yeah.
I'm laughing at you, Boog. I'm not laughing at this dude.
This is cool. I like Bruno's shots. Maybe he could have did something different with the focus and maybe focus more on the face. You know, when people get fancy cameras, they get a little crazy with the blur effect and shit like that. But yeah.
You're trailing off a little bit there, dude.
Huh?
You're trailing off a little bit. Your voice gets lower and lower as you keep talking.
Yeah, we couldn't really hear what you were saying.
Oh shit. Anyway, you guys had any favorite pictures this week? I like this one from Slings. He kind of recreated a shot that Simon did earlier in the weekend with his own little spin on it. I think this is pretty nice, the action and everything.
Oh yeah, that was a really good picture. I'd seen somebody have it on here. It was probably you. Had it on here even earlier in the shows.
It's, yeah.
I liked this one. I think this was Al Chang, right? Am I wrong? It might be.
Yes. Al Chang always does really nice group shots.
Yeah, see, he knows what lighting is like. You know, this looks like daylight. This looks good.
Oh, you know what shot was good was Simon Hill's Deadpool coming out of the phone booth.
Yeah, right here.
Did he do the one with shit? I just had it in my head.
Almost Fire.
No, the one with Scorpion and then the Spider-Man cutout in the front.
Yes.
That was Simon, right?
Yeah, so that's where Slings got the inspiration for his shot from Simon. But yeah, that Deadpool one is very reminiscent of the movie. Really nice. And
I literally look at that picture and think of that trailer where they play St. Elmo's Fire for no reason.
So Simon is very good with staging and taking his time and really making do with what he has. Like, you know, he doesn't spend a ton of money on putting together his movie sets and shit like that. Like, he's like always frugal about how he puts his stuff together, and that's you know, you can't really buy creativity. I always say that. I'm always a fan of Billy's work with noses. And, he probably could have rimmed this cutout just a little bit, but this is nice. He's always got really nice lighting too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So, Rick, looking at this Human Torch, it comes with 2 regular fists, and then on the right hand, it's got flames on the back, and then on the left hand, it's open.
But aren't those 2 fists down there the exact same hand?
No, this one's turned away. The thumb is on the other side, so you can't see.
Mm.
The thumb is exposed on this side and not exposed on that one. So,
man, it sucks that we didn't get like 2 chopping hands, so it looks like he's flying through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like,
I mean, I think he does more of like a bullet thing with his arms at his side, but still would have been nice to have had those like chop hands. I'm still excited though. I'm buying this as soon as humanly possible.
As human torchingly possible.
Boom. Take that, audience.
Oh no, we just lost the audience. This one I thought had potential, but yeah, he just got to work on the cutout and stuff, sight lines. The dial is good, the lighting is good. Just some tweaks.
Yeah, that was a big shame. I think I got the notification when he posted it, and then I looked and I was like, damn man, that cutout just needed to be fixed because this is. I mean, it's a little far away, but it's very solid.
Honestly, if he would just do away with the cutout altogether, because he's got a lot of text right here. That's
what I was gonna say. You don't need. You don't even need the cutout.
If he takes this away and really works on the framing to make sure, put Spider-Man a little more over here on this side of the frame towards the right.
Yeah, and then the right side is kind of like dead space that you don't even see of the building.
Yeah, you could bring the whole thing all together. It's a conversation, so the focus is on waist up basically. If you just bring it up a little bit, bring the framing in a little tighter, I think, and then obviously in that case the sight lines would be one of the main focus, making sure they're both looking at each other. I think that would be perfect. Looks like he's looking to unbutton that belt right there.
Yeah, that's one of the major things that I see people make mistakes with is line of sight. That was actually one of the things that Pharaoh was always talking about early on in the group and shit, was trying to get your line of sight right. And one tip for doing that with figures is you try to have them focus on each other's like right shoulder, like you turn their head like you're looking to the right shoulder, and usually that'll get the line of sight right on your when you're taking a picture and shit. That's one thing that I've always stuck to.
And in this example right here, this is how the cutout, it's not, but it should be parallel with, the horizon right here.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's see if we got any more questions while we look up some more photos we like.
I'm bailing for dinner, so
all right, Todd Eduardo.
Yeah, go check out my YouTube channel, YouTube/rectangular with a K. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Later.
See you later, bro. I really liked this shot too, from Rico Chisto. I forget his real name actually. He actually had a shot that was the Sunday special a couple of weeks ago too. But yeah, this was cool. Sometimes I'm not a fan of the cutout as the head thing type of shots, but I don't know. I really like this one, man. This was a solid one. The action, everything just looks really good. He's got his backdrop pretty well lit. It looks like it's just poster paper, and he's just got it really lit. He's got his explosion really nicely lit, and once you do that, and you get that sort of side lighting on your guys, and it really makes the shot pop. And he's paying attention to the details. He's got Cap actually. He used the shield from one of the movie figures, which are always better than the shields that come with the comic-based Cap. So that one actually has the straps in there. He's actually got his hand on the strap, so he's paying attention to all the details there. And then he threw the belt on from the one of the ultimate versions of Cap, and it just looks good, man. It looks real good. What was you gonna say?
Look at the C-side. Pull it up real quick because you can see how he has it angled. He's got the camera at a low angle, so that helps it look like the figures are running forward more. It looks like, you know, they're almost like they're falling over. They might be a little more upright in person, but he's got the camera tilted down so that it looks like, oh, that's my photo, my bad. He's got the camera tilted down so it looks like a little more dynamic. And in order to do that, he had to angle the cutout for the head and the speech bubble down towards the camera as well. So if you look at the seaside, like the camera is almost, or the cutouts are almost like parallel with the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was one of those shots where, like I think Boog said in the beginning when he was talking about it, where you, I at least personally, you know, I'm not a fan of the face as a cutout, and immediately I was like, I'm not gonna like it, and then I picked it, and then the more I looked at it, I was like, damn, this is pretty damn good. And like Boog said, you know, there's a lot of attention to detail put into it.
You know what? A lot of people don't. A lot of people they'll set some shit up and they'll just try to shoot it straight on. So you know that's one thing that you. I mean, sometimes it'll work, but you want to get low. You want to get level with the display. You want to play with the angles. You want to go get down all the way down and tilt your camera up, or like you know, put the camera to the side, tilt it to the side. You want to do different things, man. You don't always want to shoot straight on, or you definitely don't want to shoot downward at the display unless that's, you know, what it's supposed to be.
All right. We don't have any more final questions coming in, so we can just keep talking about this until we get tired and log off.
Somebody asked, what is our streaming schedule? And the streaming schedule is hopefully every Sunday at 7 Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Some Sundays we miss it, you know, somebody's got some family things going on, or, you know, something's going on and somebody's like, well, we're just not all there, you know, we miss it like we did last week, but we try every Sunday, and if something just falls through, we just don't end up coming on. But Sunday at 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific is it.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, it'll depend on if there's like a convention or something and somebody's just out of the house all day or all weekend, then, you know, we come back next week, the week after to talk about that. But, you know, it all depends on everybody's schedules. When you have a cast as robust as ours, sometimes it's hard to align everybody's schedules. And this is just something we kind of do for fun. We honestly don't really take the podcasting aspect of this, you know, all that seriously. Like, we hardly even promote it. It's very just like, you know, casual. It's just a bunch of bros talking about.
It's for the people who actually want it.
Right.
At the end of the day,
we're not out here making this the centerpiece of our brand.
Right. Like some people.
Oh man, somebody asked, did we see the Storm Collectibles Tiger Akuma? Yes, we did. I personally, I don't want it or need it, but hey, if they want it, if people want it, you know, good on them. Keep supporting Storm, because I'm not going to buy that one.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to the design of Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, and
yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Definitely correct.
It's silly.
It's not something, you know, they just pulled out of their ass. It's totally real.
Speaking of Storm Collectibles, one of their SDCC exclusives is going to be a Mortal Kombat Noob Saibot, which is pretty much just a repainted Scorpion.
Yeah, and it comes with a Scorpion blood gushing from the neck effect and head.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was just shown yesterday or the day before, where it comes with a part to put into the neck where the blood is gushing out, and then he has a head that has blood gushing out of it as well, and the head is all beat up and bloody.
Well, that's cool. Here's Akuma. Looks like Lion-O's dad.
Looks terrible.
looking real Thundercats ho right there.
It's just his eyes that look fucking weird. They're like, does he have eyebrows? No, that's what's fucked up.
Yeah, because he's Super Saiyan 3, dude.
Dude, not even. Don't desecrate the name of Super Saiyan 3.
Oh, you're right. He's got red hair. He's Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan demigod.
Just when you thought that Mufasa was dead,
Yeah.
he comes back, and this is the vision that Simba sees in the sky.
He looks like he got stung by a bee, but that's just like,
right.
Mean, like, that's the design. So I mean,
Yeah.
Everything that my
Kudos on
fist
Storm
touches.
for emulating that shit design.
I know a lot of people weren't a fan either of Ryu with a beard, which is hilarious. I find it hilarious that even Storm Collectibles actually calls him Hot Guy Ryu.
Hot Ryu. Yeah.
They call him Hot Guy Ryu. Jesus.
Yeah, when Boog and I were at Toy Fair and we were talking to the Storm dudes, and they called him like Hot Ryu. Like, it took everything in me to not like fuck up the take, because I was about to laugh my ass off.
Is that what it's called in the game? What's the meaning?
That's the nickname that like the internet gave him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Hot Guy Ryu.
Hot Ryu.
Or Hot Ryu, yeah.
I don't understand all these different Ryu colors. I'm looking for this Hot Ryu though.
Just type in Ryu with a
beard.
It's on this thread for sure. I just found out that Ryu is another name for chili oil. Fun fact.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you
The
go.
more you know. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I mean, this is some thumbnails of him in the game, and it's what he looks like.
It's accurate. It's accurate.
Yeah. We're probably gonna get this version at some point too.
I mean that angle on the arm is absolutely ridiculous, but
yeah. Well, just look at that. He looks like he's got a tumor coming out of here.
I think I said it in PMP, but like I guarantee you that like the regular release of Akuma is just gonna have a different head.
Oh, no question.
There's no way they would. Yeah. Or
No way are they going to make a completely new body. No way.
Yeah. Just makes
You are
sense.
100%, my friend. Oh, man. You gave up on the thread?
Yeah, I did. I'm just looking for Noob Saibot. That's Mortal Kombat X, but this is just the GIF. I'm sorry, the GIF of that effect you're talking about. So this is the Scorpion I grew up with, Mortal Kombat 4 trilogy era, where he's got like these panels right here. Ew. But I do like the quilted pattern, I must say.
Nothing beats the quilted pattern.
Yeah. Tell that to Shocker.
Demon Hell with the softest gi.
The quilted tough job picker upper.
Looking for Hot Ryu now. Oh, I totally know how to spell collectibles. It's not like I spell it out every day of my life. Here we go.
Boom. Hot Guy Ryu. Hot Ryu himself.
I don't know. Something about the Storm shit that's kind of just turning me off now. I don't know, man. That's funny. As far as the Street Fighter figures go, though, the Mortal Kombat ones look better to me. I don't know. These last couple of pics that they've shown for the Street Fighter shit has not really wowed me. I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
The Akuma is like totally killed me. But when they showed off that Chun-Li, I really like that Chun-Li. I think I like that Chun-Li more than the SH Figure Arts Chun-Li, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I mean, you know, maybe it's the scale. Maybe I'm just not a fan of the scale. I don't know.
Oh my god. Somebody beat us to it.
Oh man, somebody put the Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, hang on. I'm looking for the picture. There it is.
Wow.
That's funny.
Oh man, the internet works quick. I tell you what, this is posted today.
I just cannot get over the fact that the box of this fucking Ryu is literally Hot Ryu.
Hot Guy Ryu. Favorite.
Hot Guy Ryu. What? The fact that they did this. Jesus. I mean, making the figure is one thing, but actually referring to him as that on the box, oh my god. That is balls, man.
Heroes wear capes, Rick.
Not all, man. Not only is Deku living proof, but so is this company.
By the way, while we're talking about Storm Collectibles, did anybody pick up that Hollywood Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, mine has been. I'm panicking right now because it's been stuck in New York for 5 days now.
What?
Shit.
Yeah, it's been like stuck in Nassau County in New York, and it's not moved in 5 days, and it was scheduled delivery 3 days ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
I love that picture there, Boog, from.
I'm preparing for the worst, man. Yeah, where's Bob Joint's picture?
Yeah, that one was good.
There we go.
Just like we were saying, though, that cutout's got to be straight with the horizon. I know it's straight on the display, Bob. I know. But from the picture's angle, it's got to be straight. Nash's is good.
Nash's is better, but it could even be pushed back on the left side, so it's kind of
right
horizontal.
But
no matter
what way you put it, there's one thing to remember: the NWO is the only way to go, brother.
I'd like to see Storm do more wrestling figures, though. I mean, it looks good.
Yeah. I mean,
basically,
the one thing I noticed about this Hulk, and it's something obviously that they don't have official licensing from WWE to do this figure, because the only copyrights on it are all just TM Hulk Hogan, trademark Hulk Hogan. That's it.
Yeah, there's no that NWO shirt. What he bought separately.
Yeah, that's from the Giant, WCW Giant or Big Show or whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you want more figures from Store Collectibles that are wrestlers, you're gonna have to like hope for for defunct wrestlers that hate the WWE.
I mean, any sort of combat sports athlete would be great from collectibles. If they're doing Mike Tyson in 1/6 scale, they should totally do him in this scale as well.
Yeah, they have the license. Do Mike Tyson. Yeah. You know, you could honestly do UFC and do like the main, like 5 like greatest fighters of the UFC ever, and probably do pretty well.
Right.
The sculpt is going to be super minimal. You could probably reuse like 80% of the sculpts that you already have.
And to continue on that point about licensing, there's no NWO logos, no WCW, no WWE logos on the box at all. Not even on the figure. He has that Hollywood Rules shirt, but if you look closely, it says HWO. Hollywood World Order. And you know what? It was about, I think it was 30 years ago, not 30 years ago, like 20 years ago, like yesterday, that the NWO was formed and changed the landscape of professional wrestling forever, brother.
Let me tell you something, brother.
If you want to listen to what I gotta say, Mean Gene, then all these people are gonna have to shut up. Legendary moment in wrestling. Amazing. There'll never be another like it. The Shield came close, but still.
There's Simon Hill's picture right there.
Yeah. Speaking of pictures, man, we got to update the fucking photo albums on Facebook on the fan page.
You know what? I've got a bunch of pictures saved to do it, and I just been kind of bullshit. I'm gonna start on it tomorrow.
Ah, right.
What a guy.
Yep.
But yeah, let's take one more question and get up out of here.
Yeah, we got Fear the Walking Dead and the rest of WWE Great Balls of Fire tonight.
Fuck the Walking Dead. I'm not watching that shit anymore. I'm about to watch Power, and I'm about to fuck with this American Gods shit.
Oh, you gotta fuck with American Gods, dude.
Yeah, I've been trying to get into the show for the past 3 or 4 days or whatever, and I just keep like getting sidetracked and whatever. But I'm like on episode 2. We'll see.
We got two last questions. One of them being from one of the biggest OGs we have in the game. It's Jamal Chico.
Hell yeah.
And we have the best person to answer this question, the king of NECA himself, Fabio. He is wondering, is NECA making a Pennywise figure?
They don't have the license for either movie, the classic or the new one.
Damn.
Well, color me depressed along with Chico, because it's my favorite horror movie of all time.
Chico, if you really want a Pennywise, I know Mezco's doing a Living Dead doll. It's,
you know what? An ultimate Pennywise figure from NECA would be pretty fucking nice.
No,
yeah,
come on, man. We need more Bill and Ted. Get out of here.
I mean, it could be an issue. Isn't Tim Curry dead, or isn't he like super sick or something now? I don't know what his deal is.
He's very sick right now, yeah.
So Tim Curry's not in a good shape. It might be an issue of like getting, his licensing, and it's, I'm sure the dude's got more important things to worry about, like, I don't know, his health than giving out his likeness to a company.
I think he's dead. I think he's actually dead? I think so.
No, he's alive. He's just very, very sick.
How can you be sure about that? Did you see his shoes in the street or something?
I'll tell you. The only reason I know he's alive is just because my best friend is in a production every Friday night of a Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mm.
And I know if he was dead, I would never hear the end of it. Him and his friends perform the movie along with the movie for free every Friday night. That's dedication and love. I would have definitely heard if he'd died.
It's called a Shadow Cat.
He's very, very close from what I hear. It's pretty sad. Tim Curry, you know, one of the greatest actors of all time. So sad to hear.
Man, he was great in Scary Movie too.
And Clue.
And Clue.
Sonic Rockman X has a question for me and Pancho. Rick and Pancho, would you guys want an SHF Ryu from the Street Fighter Alpha anime movie? I know I do.
Oh fuck yes, of course.
Yeah, color me yes. All right.
The only Street Fighter figures I want are Jean-Claude Van Damme from the movie as Guile.
I want that too.
Well,
speaking of, there's a disturbing lack.
What you say?
There's a disturbing lack of Jean-Claude Van Damme figures out there. I need some Universal Soldier. I need some Time Cop.
That guy.
I need some Bloodsport, and I need some Kickboxer.
Final question, because I've seen him ask it a bunch of times and we never answered it. Do you think SHF will do an Ezra Miller Flash? Honestly, right now I don't know because all we see is this Batman, but I think there's a good chance.
Yeah,
I think Flash will probably steal the show in that movie.
yeah.
I'm hoping so, man. That's
what I was gonna say is if he has a good reaction in the movie, the figures are sure to follow. But if he's just a fucking bit part player,
oh, yeah. If it's not planned after the movie comes out, if he has a good showing, it will be fast tracked, no question.
No pun intended.
Boom.
Are you guys ever gonna sell the Stan Lee Marvel Legends head? Didn't we have that? Didn't somebody cast that? Were we gonna sell that on the shop at one point? Boog?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, I was looking at some fuckery. Sorry, what?
The Stan Lee Marvel Legends head. Will we have it on the webpage?
Yes. You know what? We're supposed to be doing a little partnership with the fellas from out. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank right now. I really was just at some fuckery and guys. But yes, we're supposed to be having a Stan Lee head very soon. And if we didn't have it because this whole thing happened with Batman, we just kind of, you know, was trying to take care of shit on the home front. But yeah, definitely, it's happening very shortly.
All right. Oh, anybody see Glow on Netflix? I've been meaning to watch that.
Glow is fantastic. If you love 80s big hair music and you love wrestling, this was made for you.
It's a show.
Brie gets nude in that, right?
Yeah, it's a show. It's called the what is this?
The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Gorgeous. I was about to say glamorous. The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Or, right. Okay, I remember Glow. Okay.
Wait, I asked an important question. I don't know if anyone heard me. Allison Brie gets nude in that, right?
Who's Allison Brie?
All right, check from Community.
Community.
From where?
All right, I'm in. I was in for the wrestling. Now I'm staying for Allison Brie.
Called Community.
I don't know.
No, it's the show that the guys who directed Civil War started on.
It's the show that the guy that does Rick and Morty.
Bring up a fucking picture.
Oh, yeah, Fabio, what are you doing? Where's a picture? Come on.
All right. Oh, Allison Brie or just Glow? Well,
Allison
I'm here.
Brie.
Both.
I'm here.
Make sure it's not no nude picture.
Trying to keep it PG, Broseph.
Just looking for her. There we go. Here we go. I'm not gonna type it in. Just gonna search
I was
Google.
about to share a picture of the chick who plays Liz, but her tits were out. So.
Oh Jesus.
Liz Allen?
Yes.
I'm gonna look this up right now.
Oh well, I'm not gonna do that on stream. Come on, we're not a bunch of pigs here.
No, I said I'm going.
I say as I have all these pictures. She's married to Dave Franco. That's interesting.
Who's married to what?
She's married to James Franco's brother.
Who is?
Dave Franco?
Allison Brie.
Oh.
No, Dave Franco.
I didn't even know Dave Franco was married.
Yeah. Man, you wouldn't lock that down immediately? Come on, Rick.
Impressed.
And well, this is her in Glow. Oh, that's a terrible picture.
So she's playing one of the wrestling shows.
Yeah, she's the main character. And then Mark Maron is in it, too. He's a really great stand-up and podcaster.
Mark Maron is a fucking treasure.
You really had to get a wrestling on for this shit, huh?
Yeah, they actually did learn how to wrestle and everything in this.
Interesting.
Yep. I know my alma mater dude, the guy that went to my fucking high school, Johnny Mundo, is in this show, too, so that's worth checking out. And I know also that Chavo Guerrero Jr. did all the choreography for this as well. For all
one of the heads of one of the kings of wrestling.
Yep. I mean, he's pretty much the last Guerrero out there right now.
Yeah, right now until one of the kids come up. Yeah,
yeah. Well, here's Mark Maron. and it's Chavo's gym. So yeah, it's I think he's supposed to, Chavo being like his dad, like Chavo Senior. I think it's supposed to be like his gym and all that stuff. I have been meaning to check this out. I definitely am interested. It's right up my alley. It's got a lot of people that I enjoy in it. I just haven't made the time. Just got to do it.
If you
Yeah,
love,
it was in the
if
first
you love
episode, as I
like
said.
dance music, you love 80s music that like causes you to dance and take ecstasy, then you're gonna love it.
Excellent.
Speaking of 80s vibes, I just checked out this movie, It Follows. Has anybody seen that?
Yeah, like last
Pretty
year.
darn good.
Movie rules.
Yeah, I did not know what I was getting into on that, but as soon as the 80s synthwave soundtrack hit me, I'm like, damn, this is a throwback. This is a nice like Nightmare on Elm Street sort of feel, but it's like it's still supernatural horror, I guess you could say, but it's more grounded. Definitely a good recommend right there. It's definitely worth your watch. Shout out to Mr. El Sinestro. RG Bats, that's what's his name on Instagram? I don't know, but he's awesome. A few of us are going to SDCC. I'm not sure who. I might just go down there.
His name is Ricardo Gastelum.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of us are going to SDCC. We're not quite sure who. Boog, I don't know if you're still working on press passes or what, but
press pass is totally out of the question. Me and Pep were supposed to be going down just to. We were supposed to be going down for like a little mini vacay anyway, aside from SDCC, because Pep's sister lives in San Diego now. So that was the original plan before all of the shit happened with her getting sick and everything. So, but yeah, that's pretty much dead now.
Oh man. All right. Well, that's one less person. Like I said, I might just go down if there's enough people from the community down there. I might just go down and get some dinner with people before everybody retires back to their hotels. And
I'm saying it's dead. But I actually just said to her like 2 days ago, maybe we could just fly down just for a couple of days and she could see her sister and whatever. And then if I get into the con, I get into the con. But we'll see. We'll see what it's looking like. But I wanted to take my daughter on a plane for the first time too. That was also part of the plan. But
oh, that's cute.
But yeah, I don't know, man.
All right. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I'm about to go watch some Power and eat some chicken and pasta. How about that?
Cool. All right, let's get the plugs out the way and then say bye to everybody.
Boom.
Boog, how about you go? Even though you already did earlier.
Well, hey, follow me on Instagram, Boog_A.C.B.A, and absolutely follow us on the Articulated Comic Book Art Instagram, which is at Articulated Comic Book Art. You on my channel right now if you watching this, so stay tuned. I got some new content coming this week, and thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out, as always. Don't forget to go to the A.C.B.A website, to articulatedcomicbookart.com, and check out those little promotions we have. Maybe you'll make a purchase and support the brand. Shout out to my man Chris Lyons, who I got a little something special coming my way from him this week. Shout out to Remy, aka the Ultimate Collector, Ultimate Toy Collector, who is
Remy Wilson?
Yes, he's going to be going on Comic Book Men, or he's going to be going to tape episode of Comic Book Men tomorrow, and I sent him a little package to give to the guys over there. So we'll see how that works out, if anything comes from it or whatever. So shout out to him for doing that and holding it down, and shout out to my mom. I love you, Mom. All right, I'm done.
All right, well, they call me Colonel Cracker, spelled with K's. That's on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, Steam. I'm playing Miscreated right now on Steam. It's fucking awesome if you want to kill some mutants and hold up random innocents. It's fun. That's about it. I got a couple of comedy shows coming up, actually. Let's see. I have a show on the 30th at 5:30 p.m. at Second City Hollywood, and then another show 2 weeks after that. I believe that would be the 14th, maybe. Yeah.
What's the deal with a stand-up?
No, I don't do stand-up. I do sketch. It's different. Yeah, let me look at my schedule right now. Yeah, so the 30th, I have a show 5:30 at Second City Hollywood, and then my next show after that is scroll to next month. The 6th. I'm sorry, the 13th. So it's a 30th and 13th, both at 5:30 p.m. If you want to come see some sketch comedy, I've got a really fucking great group of people that we're writing some good sketches. And I think we're going to be there's a good amount of like nerddom across different, fandoms in this group. Like some people are into fucking Ren Fair. Some people are into tabletop gaming. Another friend of mine is into fucking wrestling. I got a friend who, again, Rick, is also into like Rocky Horror and does a shadow cast every week. So like the group overall is comprised of very like nerdy people. So we're working towards, or I would like us to be working towards making a very like nerd comedy niche show, which sounds fucking lame when you describe it, but I think we're clever enough to pull it off. So that'll be something that we're going to be working towards, and having a long running show that's sort of geared towards the convention and just sort of like geek audience in general. Cause there's not really I don't want to say a market, but there's not really like anybody hitting that niche at Second City right now in terms of sketch comedy. We've got like the Latino sketch ensemble group, and we've got the hip hop improv sketch ensemble. But there's no real like geek comedy. So I think that's something that I'd like us to be gearing towards. And if anybody listening lives in the LA area, that would be something that you would like to check out. Stay tuned, because we're going to be working real hard towards that. All right, that's it. Pancho, you go.
Okay. Yeah, all my stuff online is Pancheezy, Pancheezey. Instagram is where I'm the most active. YouTube, secondly, I'm active on there too. I just got a new job that's like less hourly demanding, so it's like a normal 9 to 5. So my afternoons are free. So I've started to dive back in to figure photography and all that stuff. So my show, Posing Ain't Easy, my A.C.B.A. show is coming back soon as well. Going to be doing some A.C.B.A. Right as we get off the podcast tonight, as a matter of fact.
What a fucking guy, man.
Yeah, dude.
Well, back in the saddle, baby.
Are you still at GameStop or no?
I'm there like 1 day a week now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, man. I'm glad to hear that.
Hell yeah, thank you.
Moving on up.
I know, right? So I got a cool new job that has my afternoons free. So I'll be getting back. I'll be more present online, because for the last like 4 months I was like gone. But that's me.
See if we get Genki Dama back in the game.
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
Boom.
All right, Rick.
Let's hear it. I'm RickDom2345 on Instagram. Just follow me on there. I'm on the A.C.B.A. page, bumping pictures that I see. I'm posting random toy-related shit on Plastic and Paint. So I'll be back at some point with Genki Dama and possibly other things with Pancho. So watch out for that on his channel, Pancheezy, not to be confused with Panchesi.
And to elaborate, Genki Dama is our Dragon Ball Super podcast that we did 1 episode of, and then shit got wild for me in my personal life. And we had to stop.
Boom. You just got an explanation.
Damn. Just like that.
There you have it. All right. Until next week, we out of here. Thanks for hanging out with us, and talk to you soon.
Love and peace.
See